He inhaled the blood mist to save his little sister, but instead of turning into a monster, he awakened a super mutant form. Every time he kills a mutant, his power levels up, and to get even stronger, he decides to take down the SSS tier boss. To backtrack, an archaeological team accidentally triggered an ancient seal, slowly turning humanity into flower hands. The blood mist quickly spread across the city, driving humans insane and causing sudden deaths, while most animals mutated into ferocious beasts. Wherever they passed, only ruins remained. 3 days ago, the blood mist phenomenon started appearing worldwide. Loudspeakers kept warning people to stay indoors and avoid going out. At that moment, Nghiem Hao was traveling with his family in a car. A military officer urgently knocked on the car window, ordering immediate evacuation. His mom found the sudden military presence strange, while Tra-An was skeptical of their words. Why mobilize the army? Seeing his sister panic, Nghiem Hao reassured her, "Don't worry, we're all here with you." Still, he sensed something was off in the air. What exactly was this red mist that made the military act so fast? Suddenly, an explosion roared as a car fell from above, crashing right onto their family vehicle. Nghiem Hao quickly shielded his sister, then checked on his parents. "Are you guys okay?" Tra-An got her foot stuck and couldn't get free. At that moment, a loud noise echoed, and the whole family turned toward the sound. A giant mutant beast was attacking the soldiers. Nghiem Hao gasped, "What the hell is that?" Sensing danger, Tra-An ordered everyone to get out of the car. Nghiem Hao slammed on the car door, but the door by his parents was stuck under the fallen car. His mom said, "Take your sister and go, don't worry about us." But Nghiem Hao was determined. "No way, I have to save mom and dad." A desperate scream sounded nearby. A mutant was attacking a man. The horrific scene made his sister tremble in fear. His mom gripped his hand tightly. "Go now." Before he could rescue his parents, something fell from above, flinging Nghiem Hao and Tieu Tuyet far away. It was the mutant that attacked the man. It looked like a giant wolf, its spine exposed and fur gone, revealing its ribs. Seeing this, his sister screamed, "Mom! Dad!" The mutant turned, spotted the siblings still alive, and prepared to attack. He grabbed his sister's hand and they ran as fast as they could. On the way, an apocalyptic scene unfolded before his eyes. In the sky, hundreds of giant monsters attacked, causing planes and helicopters to explode and crash. On the ground, other monsters hunted the survivors. The strange red mist was driving both humans and animals insane and bloodthirsty. What the hell is happening to this world? He wondered. Cut to a supermarket, where mutated wolves had caught the scent of humans and were creeping closer. The siblings hid behind a food shelf. He covered his sister's mouth, afraid she'd scream and attract the monsters. After a while, he looked back and saw the monsters had moved away. So he relaxed and let go. But his sister's face suddenly showed spreading red veins. The pain overwhelmed her, and she clutched her head, groaning. He worriedly asked, "Tieu Tuyet, what's wrong?" "Bro, I feel awful." Looking in the mirror, he saw the same red veins spreading on his face. He immediately realized it was the red mist's effect. He grabbed a wet cloth and handed it to his sister. "Cover up, don't breathe in the red mist anymore." The red veins on his face grew clearer and spread, the pain so intense he collapsed. "It hurts, it's burning. Something inside me is breaking out." After the pain and veins faded, his sister saw him stand up and asked worriedly, "Bro, are you okay?" He struggled to control the pain and reassured her, "I'm fine." Suddenly, a monster spotted them and slowly approached. Focused on their pain, they didn't notice the danger creeping up. When the terrifying face and long fangs appeared, they realized, "We're cooked. They found us." He grabbed Tieu Tuyet's hand and ran again. But just as they escaped the supermarket, they faced a bigger monster waiting for them. Turning back, the previous monster had caught up too. "We're trapped from both sides." Tieu Tuyet anxiously asked, "Bro, what do we do now?" He hugged her tight and reassured, "Don't be scared, I'm here." At that moment, a giant monster flew overhead and let out a deafening roar. The other monsters immediately surrounded the siblings. This was clearly the strongest monster they'd faced since their escape began. "Are we really going to end here today?" he thought to himself. Luckily, he spotted an escape route in the encirclement. Without hesitation, he grabbed his sister's hand and ran in, but bad luck, another monster was waiting inside. Outside was even more dangerous, so fighting was the only option. He grabbed a nearby wooden stick, ready to face the beast. However, his resistance was like a grasshopper against a truck. The stick shattered instantly under the monster's strong jaws. It lunged at him, jaws wide open, aiming to swallow its prey whole. Luckily, he blocked with his arms and legs, but its strength slammed him hard against the wall. Just then, an arrow flew in, blinding one of the monster's eyes. Little Snow saved him just in time with her bow. It was just prey, yet it got hurt. The monster, furious, charged at Little Snow. He shouted, "Run, don't look back." Little Snow threw her crossbow aside and ran. Red veins suddenly appeared, spreading across his body. Racked with pain, he clutched his chest, coughing up blood, eyes fixed on his fleeing sister. Leaning against the wall to stay upright, he cried out in despair, "Why? Why now?" Seeing the beast about to harm his sister, rage exploded inside him. His grip tightened, shattering the concrete wall. A burst of power broke through the wall and slammed into the monster, making it roar in agony. His eyes glowed red. Gripping an iron bar, he roared, "Die!" The iron bar pierced its head, blood splattering everywhere. Each swing drove the bar deeper, inflicting fatal wounds. Little Snow panicked, seeing her brother turn into a wild beast. She rushed to hug him tightly. "Bro, what's wrong? Stop, I'm fine." Her voice echoed in his mind, pulling him back to reality. His mother's image appeared, with her last words, "Xiao Hao, take good care of Little Snow." He looked at his sister, tears streaming down his face, heart aching. "Sorry for making you worry. I'm okay now." Before he could finish, another beast charged, its massive beak like a truck ready to swallow them both. Instinctively, he grabbed Little Snow and rolled aside. The monster changed direction and kept attacking. Clenching his stick, he growled, "You damn beast, stay away from my sister." A powerful swing smashed its nose, sending it flying into the wall, kicking up a cloud of dust. He turned to Little Snow, firm voice, "Stay here, I'll lure it away." She hugged him tightly, gentle voice, "Don't go. I'm scared you'll lose control again." He gently patted her head. "Don't worry. This time, I won't lose it. Just survive, I'll come back for you." Little Snow nodded. "I trust you. I'll wait." From the shadows, a red energy emerged. He realized something, muttering, "If I absorb this energy, maybe I'll get stronger." Pointing at the beast leader, voice full of challenge, "If I take you down, I'll have the strength to protect my family. You can rest easy when you're dead." The leader sneered as his minions charged. He fought fiercely, each strike taking down enemies. A sharp bite clamped onto his shoulder. The red veins on his arm suddenly glowed. His grip tightened, ready to tear the monster in half. His hands transformed, becoming tough and sharp like beast claws. He exclaimed, "Is this power? Amazing." Suddenly, the leader's roar echoed, and the minions retreated immediately. He looked up. A heavy fighter jet was flying overhead. Coming out of his power-induced daze, he stared at his strange hands, muttering, "What's happening to me?" A bomb dropped nearby. He shouted, "Little Snow, stay back." The explosion thundered, dust everywhere. A military helicopter landed. Seeing he was infected, they decided to leave him behind and only took Little Snow. Exhausted and powerless, he watched his sister taken away before passing out. 6 months later, haunted by nightmares of Little Snow burning in flames, he woke up gasping. He sighed, "That dream again. Little Snow, where are you?" Holding his gun, he continued the search, luckily still undetected. Since Little Snow was taken, he'd scoured every refugee camp but found nothing. His sister vanished without a trace. To find her, he joined the lowest border patrol unit in the army, becoming a bottom-tier soldier, because in this chaotic time, only the army could gather intel and move freely. At a Kisi border station, a blood-red fog still blanketed the city like nothing had changed. He ran up to a soldier, the captain of the Old Town patrol team. "Sorry, Captain, I'm here for my shift." A soldier nearby saw the familiar scene and sighed in frustration, "Here comes that useless rookie again." Immediately, he got kicked in the butt by the boss. "Where the hell did this idiot disappear to? How long have you been on guard duty?" Kicked again, he hurried straight up to the watchtower. But the boss still worried about the rookie's lack of discipline and didn't forget to warn him. "Nghiem Hao, some important officials are coming soon, so we only get a break after that. If you mess up again, I'll deal with you on the spot." "Got it." Standing on the watchtower, looking down at the ruins of the once thriving city, he couldn't help but recall the past. Half a year ago, since the red mist started spreading, most cities turned into wastelands, becoming homes for mutated creatures. Along with the red mist, a mysterious tower also appeared. Survivors could only gather and flee as far away from the tower and red mist as possible. He remembered an old enemy who tore his family apart. "No clue if that guy's still alive, but I'll find you for sure." On the other side, the boss lit a cigarette and chatted with teammates. Since the special ops team was handling things below, their guard duty was mostly for show. If the special ops can't handle it, what chance do patrol guys like us have? Hearing that, two teammates sighed, knowing that team was legendary, no way they'd lose. "Exactly, boss. Are you trying to scare us? Their squad isn't here for missions, they're here to slaughter mutants at will." At that moment, Nghiem Hao stood alone, staring at the red mist, thinking, "Asterisk. After all this time, I still hate the red mist." Asterisk. This stuff triggers the most primal bloodlust in creatures, making them attack each other. Suddenly, the red mist began to dissipate visibly. Not good, something's coming this way, one team member shouted. Boss, looks like trouble, check it out over there. The boss suddenly stood up. No way. When did the red mist start flowing this way? From inside the mist, two panicked special ops ran toward them. The boss asked, Chief, what's going on? The two couldn't explain, only shouted, retreat immediately. Suddenly, something swung out from the mist, knocking the two special ops away. Facing a threat that could wipe out the two in one hit, the chief immediately used the radio to order a retreat. However, the boss didn't escape in time. A claw snagged his collar and yanked him back. A ragged breath escaped his lips. He knew he was done for. Turning around, he saw a giant mutated beast dragging him forward. Its blood-red eyes were sizing up the prey. In that moment, the boss could only mutter, "We're cooked." Nghiem Hao looked down from above, hearing screams, "Help me, they're here, run!" Without hesitation, he charged down to fight the mutants. Yeah. He took down a few monsters. Nghiem Hao activated his mutated arms, eyes blazing red like fire, mumbling strange words. A nearby mutant, seeing its kin killed, growled furiously, baring sharp teeth threateningly. It charged at Nghiem Hao at a terrifying speed. But Nghiem Hao didn't flinch. With a lightning-fast move, he grabbed the monster's head, delivering a powerful punch that sent its head flying. A red energy burst radiated from the corpse, quickly absorbed into his mutated arm. Feeling the new power surge through his body, Nghiem Hao smirked. Asterisk, not bad, my strength just got a serious buff. Asterisk, if I keep absorbing all these mutants around me, how strong will I get? He glanced around, counting the monsters surrounding him. 3, 4, 5, 6, damn, that's a lot. Losing patience, Nghiem Hao channeled his inner energy, spreading power throughout his body. Don't disappoint me. A destructive lightning bolt blasted through the mutants, knocking them down before they could even react. Nghiem Hao turned his head, lowering his guard. Turns out, it was him stealing my meal. That's Song Ni, the Border Ops team leader. A beautiful young woman with platinum hair. Seeing the special ops arrive unprepared, Nghiem Hao thought, asterisk crap, I'm done for this time. Asterisk, he needed to retract his mutated arm fast. Song Ni ordered urgently, don't leave any mutants alive, wipe them all out. Immediately, the whole team aimed their guns at Nghiem Hao. Their swift move caught him off guard, leaving him no choice but to raise his hands and surrender. Wait, don't shoot. I'm just a low-level border patrol soldier. But before he could finish, gunfire erupted boom boom. In just a moment, the mutated beast that was about to attack Nghiem Hao from behind collapsed, riddled with bullet holes. He stood frozen, overwhelmed with emotion for a few seconds. When the Special Forces team announced the target was eliminated, he snapped back to reality and realized they had only aimed at the monster behind him. Soft footsteps approached Nghiem Hao. Tong Yi, holding a rifle, stood before him with a stern gaze. Where's your weapon, patrol rookie? The blunt question caught Nghiem Hao off guard, leaving him speechless. Asterisk. This is bad. What do I say now? Asterisk. While he stayed silent, a Special Forces member announced a full retreat from the front line back to the temporary base. The scene shifted to a military tent, where a serious guard told those in the truck, no entry without Senior Officer Tong's permission. Inside, Tong Nir was listing casualties from the recent incident. 37 total, including 2 Special Forces and 30 Border Patrol members. Nghiem Hao replied seriously, that's true, so why are you detaining me? I'm also a victim here. Bound tightly to a chair, 2 agents stood solemnly beside him. Tong Nir pressed on. Last night, you left the team without permission for over 2 hours, then returned right before the Red Mist riot broke out. Don't you owe an explanation? Lucky that his mutated hands weren't exposed. Nghiem Hao couldn't admit he'd just dozed off during duty. He stammered. I just caught a quick nap in the outpost. I already informed the captain, so why isn't it in the records? An officer raised his hand to speak. Sir, he's always late, but his captain covers for him. Don't let him endanger my brothers. Nghiem Hao felt exposed about his nap, his eyes reddening. This bastard, if he talks nonsense tomorrow, I'll castrate him myself. Frowning, Tong Nir realized the border patrol still had many unresolved issues. Meanwhile, the mentioned captain sneezed like he had an itch. The nearby officer panicked. Captain, are you okay? Relax, he's fine. All tests show his body is perfectly normal, Dr. Chanan replied. Doc, our captain just needs his mouth bandaged, another soldier questioned. How is that normal? Back at Nghiem Hao's current quarters, Tong Nir held his file and continued the interrogation. The file showed he had only completed basic training 3 months ago. In the last battle, even my special squad lost 2 men. It's surprising you survived that disaster, Tong Nir said suspiciously. Nghiem Hao immediately shot back, I'm scared of dying. I used to do track and field, so I'm more agile than most. When I sensed the red mist shifting, I ran before the beasts could catch me. Tong Nier pressed further. If you fear death, why join the army? Got some other agenda? The question silenced Nghiem Hao. Truth was, he had another goal. To find his little sister. Tieu Tuyet. For half a year, he'd been a lone wolf, avoiding crowds, hunting and absorbing low-level mutated beasts to control his own mutation. He'd tried everything to find clues about human refuges. A soldier scared of death, abandoning missions, knowing danger but not reporting it. You understand the consequences, right? Tong Nier stepped closer. Planning to shoot me? Nghiem Hao replied coldly. Tong Nier leaned in, whispering, What exactly are your hands? Why lie all this time? Spill your real reason for joining the army. Nghiem Hao kept his poker face. She had seen through him. Suddenly, a violent earthquake shook the ground. Tong Nier thought it was just a normal quake, but Nghiem Hao knew better. The feeling was all too familiar. Massive mutated beasts were approaching. He immediately spun and shouted, Run! Tong Nier suspected he was using the chaos to escape. A flash of lightning sparked in her eyes. In a blink, she yanked him down. Daring to run from me? You don't respect me at all? The ground beneath them cracked open, bystanders panicked. Senior officer, please be careful. The ground's breaking apart. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not that rough. Suddenly, the entire ground shattered, cracking sounds echoing everywhere. Dust filled the air, as many remained terrified. Calmly, Nghiem Hao said, We've fallen underground? Tong Nier stayed composed, ordering everyone to turn on their lights and assess the situation. Meanwhile, the captain's brother, still biased against Nghiem Hao, grumbled, What a rookie. With him here, nothing good ever happens. Are we supposed to live underground forever? Nghiem Hao replied, Survive getting out first, then cry later. We might not have to live down here forever. As the lights shone, the group saw massive caves piled up ahead. Oh man, these caves must have been dug out by those mutated beasts, right? Someone exclaimed. Tong Nier immediately ordered everyone to stay calm, check their remaining weapons, hold formation, and avoid any openings. A strange wind suddenly blew through. Nghiem Hao's sharp instincts sensed danger and warned, Wind's coming. The guard heard and said, Wind means there's an exit. We should check it out. After confirming the light breeze, the guard got so excited he didn't notice 3 bloodshot eyes staring right at him. Still, Han couldn't resist teasing Nghiem Hao. Man, you're useless, only good at running away. You're a master at that, someone joked. Just then, a 3-eyed monster suddenly lunged from behind the officer while Han was telling everyone about the escape route ahead. In a flash, a soldier shot the beast dead on the spot. Its blue blood splattered, almost hitting a guy's most sensitive area. Tong Nier quickly warned, Bull armor blood is super corrosive, don't touch it. And remember, no one acts without my order, got it? Seeing the corroded ground, Han thought, Asterisk, thank God, I almost became a eunuch. Asterisk. Tong Nier looked at Nghiem Hao and said, Looks like your instincts for dodging danger are sharp. Once we're out safe, you owe me an explanation. Nghiem Hao just stared at her silently, wondering, Asterisk, if she knows my secret but won't say, what's she planning? Asterisk. Suddenly, a growing roar echoed, signaling a massive threat approaching. Hundreds of 3-eyed bull armors poured out of the cave, all with fierce expressions. In an instant, thousands of actions around were halted by these beasts. Damn, so many bull armors? We're in deep trouble this time. The bad news? The beasts gave no time to rest. They charged immediately, fighting over prey. Their numbers were overwhelming. Any attempt to stop them was like throwing salt into the sea. Luckily, they found a cave not occupied by bull armors. Everyone quickly blazed a bloody path to escape inside. Once inside, Nghiem Hao suddenly felt something off, ignoring Tong Nier's warning. Don't stop, keep running. He turned back and noticed the beasts seemed to have stopped advancing, though no one knew why they didn't chase. The team had no choice but to push forward, searching for an exit. After some distance, they encountered a boss-level beast absorbing red mist to boost its power. Its fang-filled mouth opened, gathering dark energy inside. Nghiem Hao immediately recognized the danger and warned, Everyone, watch out for the energy coming from its mouth. Tong Nier seized the moment, raised her gun, and fired at the beast. However, the monster had finished charging and unleashed a red energy blast. The two energies moved side by side without touching. The boss got hit by Tong Nier's shot, while she barely dodged its attack. Luckily, Nghiem Hao transformed an arm just in time to block the blow, saving her life. Looking at Nghiem Hao's transformed arm, Tong Nier asked, Nghiem Hao, your arm. He cut her off. Let's get out of here first, then I'll explain everything. Nghiem Hao charged at the boss, ready for a big fight. Seeing his attack barely left a scratch, Tong Nier worried. Even my shot just grazed it. Can he really take down this monster? She could only cheer from behind. Nghiem Hao, watch out. Fueled by her encouragement, Nghiem Hao attacked the boss, quickly realizing his hits barely hurt it. Its armor was too tough, any normal beast would have been crushed already. Its massive size and solid defense made it like an armored tank. It must have devoured many of its kind to gain such insane power and build. The beast counterattacked, throwing a punch at Nghiem Hao, but he dodged. He thought, it seems it's put all its strength into defense through its armor. Smirking and sighing, he muttered, it's just a giant moving punching bag. Then he plunged into a relentless fight with the beast, leaving the whole group stunned. Am I dreaming? Nghiem Hao, the kid who's always scared to death and the first to run, is now facing a boss-level mutant beast alone. Who the hell is this guy? Tongnir quickly explained that he's an experiment created to fight mutants, a secret developed by the joint government. He spent 3 months just to pass basic training, and he's an anti-mutant experiment? Yeah, when he took a hit for me, I confirmed his true identity. But these explanations only convinced the rookies. The deputy officer nearby listened to the chief's words with suspicion. The National Joint Organization really has experiments like this? Or is she hiding something? Tongnir sweet-talked more, saying he escaped the lab and infiltrated the patrol team below. The red mist outbreak last time might be connected to him, so I doubted his identity. This is a top-secret national matter. What you hear here stays here. The officer reluctantly accepted. Yes, Chief. Back to Nghiem Hao battling the boss, level mutant. The monster gathered energy in its mouth and unleashed an attack. Nghiem Hao dodged easily but forgot his teammates were behind him. After the thunderous explosion, Captain Tongnir's quick reflexes let her dodge in time. But the officer wasn't so lucky. He was saved by the deputy chief, but lost a leg. Despite his experience and strong combat skills, how did he sacrifice himself for a regular soldier like me? The deputy chief calmly replied, trading a leg to save a life? Sounds like a fair deal to me. The officer continued, isn't your main mission to fight mutants? Now you've lost valuable strength because of me. The deputy chief comforted him. Hey, I didn't join the army just to kill mutants. I became a soldier to protect. As humanity's shield, I won't abandon anyone. His sincere words stunned the officer. After a long fight, Nghiem Hao fell weak and was thrown dozens of meters away. His energy was nearly drained. Even maintaining his mutated arm was tough. Looking at the giant monster, he thought, asterisk, is this the power of a boss? Level mutant, asterisk, hard to believe. At the critical moment, when the monster swung a heavy blow, a dart shot straight into its head, making it recoil in pain. Seeing darts flying around, he realized Tongnir had intervened. He turned to her, holding a rifle, her strong focus still lingering. She said, Nghiem Hao, you can't die here. I have many questions, and you need to answer them clearly. Suddenly, the monster hit by Tongnir's dart let out a strange laugh. It bared its terrifying fangs, exhaling hot, humid mist. Tongnir sensed danger, as the red mist from all corners of the cave gathered around the boss monster. The caves connect everywhere, letting it control the red mist easily. It used the mist to recover its strength. Seeing the wound on its head healing, Tongnir grew worried. At this rate, it'll soon be back at full power. Maybe it caused the last red mist outbreak. Without hesitation, she rushed to Nghiem Hao. We can't take it down now. It's recovering. We should retreat. But Nghiem Hao refused to give up. He stood, activating his mutated arm again. No way. It dies here today. His eyes blazing red, full of fighting spirit. Its mist absorption also boosts my power. It's busy absorbing energy and can't move. This is our best chance to strike. Tongnir looked at him seriously, as if failure meant death. He immediately took a defensive stance, red energy flowing through his body. I've passed through the Demon Gate countless times. One more won't be a problem. Tongnir gave in to his determination and agreed to the plan. Fine, but this is our only shot. She knelt, lowered her gun, and charged it with powerful lightning energy, focusing it at the muzzle. I'll unleash all my power to help you break through its head armor. Take this chance to directly break its armor. She looked through the scope, aiming at the monster's head, ready for the strongest shot. This is the only way we can beat it. With that, she pulled the trigger. Right then, Nghiem Hao immediately charged in, trying to follow Tuyet's shot, fired by Tongnir. He jumped onto the monster's head just as Tuyet's bullet hit the top of its skull. Perfect. The armor on its head cracked. He seized the moment without wasting time, relentlessly punching its head with his mutated arm. He unleashed 7,749 punches targeting the now unarmored head, causing blue ooze to gush out wildly, splattering everywhere. The monster screamed in pain as its head armor started to crumble and fall off. Tongnir stood behind, witnessing everything, shocked by the brutal assault on the monster. Did we actually pull it off? An explosion echoed along with blue ooze spraying out. The blast threw Nghiem Hao far back. Having used all his power, his mutated arm vanished. He crashed to the ground, and Tong Nir rushed over, worried, asking, "You okay?" Nghiem Hao was unconscious, drained of energy and hit by the explosion, lying motionless. Tong Nir noticed a photo he always carried slipped from his hand. She picked up the photo, curious. "What's this?" Distracted by the photo, she didn't notice a core resting in his palm. The core slowly sank into his hand, releasing a gentle red mist. The core's intrusion triggered a violent reaction in his body. Veins bulged as if resisting. Cut to him waking up in a boundless space. Next to him, a shifting gene fragment floated. Scanning the surroundings, he found nothing but red mist and strange gene fragments. Am I dead? A gene fragment flickered with a pink glow. He wondered, what's that gene fragment blinking at? Suddenly, he realized a core was merging with his body, becoming part of his ribcage. Looking at the core, he recalled it wasn't the same as the one inside the level 3 mutated beast earlier. It resembled some kind of energy crystal. It was in his hand moments ago, now on his chest. The crystal emitted a strange energy, absorbing all the surrounding red mist gradually. What? It's actually absorbing the red mist. More than that, it could store energy. Even if I absorb more red mist to power up my mutation, I won't lose control anymore. One corner of the core cracked, revealing a worrying truth. It had reached its energy storage limit. His eyes scanned as red mist kept flowing into the core. A thought struck. If this keeps up, it's dangerous. It might explode. Suddenly, he remembered something important and raised both hands to his chest. The awakened beast core can consume a huge amount of red mist. If I can absorb it, I can also release it. Back to the present. In the hospital's special care room, he lay on the bed, red mist radiating from his body. He woke up, eyes blazing like fire, instantly sitting up. He focused all the energy absorbed through the core into his arm. A thought flashed. Focus. Fail, and I'm dead for sure. Just then, the hospital room door opened, and Tong Nir came in to visit. Seeing him ready to unleash a massive energy blast at her, she was startled. Flashback a few minutes earlier. At the hospital, a soldier stood at attention before Tong Nir. "Captain Tong, how's the deputy officer's leg?" Tong Nir stood outside the deputy's exam room, replying, "He's a soldier, he's already awakened. Don't blame yourself too much." She entered the room where the deputy held files on Nghiem Hao. He looked at her, asking, "Captain Tong, how's Nghiem Hao's condition? Why have I never heard Shu had a test subject like him?" Tong Nir raised the info board, answering, "Nghiem Hao's condition is top secret. Just focus on staying healthy, don't worry too much." After saying that, she turned to leave. "I've requested HQ to transfer you to logistics. Rest well from now on." As she was about to leave, the deputy spoke up. "I'll honestly report this to your father, Deputy Chief Tong Lim. I trust he'll make his own judgment." Tong Nir, furious, slapped him hard across the face. "Deputy, do you still remember who your superior is? From now on, your communication rights are blocked. Stay put and don't go anywhere." After handling this, Tong Ni and the guard headed to Nghiem Hao's hospital room. Outside room 314, the guard reported. "We've arrived." Tong Ni anxiously ordered, "You stand guard outside. No one gets in without my orders." The guard saluted Nghiem, who opened the door and saw a terrifying scene. Nghiem Hao was gathering energy, aiming it at her. Tong Ni asked, "What are you planning?" He didn't have time to explain, just shouted, "Get out of the way!" The energy blast shot out, causing a massive explosion. Nghiem Hao was thrown back by the recoil, while Tong Ni quickly dropped to dodge. The energy orb destroyed the door, making the guard panic and fall. It pierced through the wall, triggering a cataclysmic explosion with a red mist-like glow. Not stopping there, the orb flew out of the hospital, smashing through abandoned buildings across the street. The deputy commander watched silently, thinking, the building opposite is completely breached. "What's up with Nghiem Hao? Captain Tong Ni? How long can you keep this under wraps?" The guard, clutching his head on the ground, muttered, "Why does all the bad luck hit me? This is terrifying, I'm not ready to die yet." Tong Ni stared at the holes in shock. Is this the boss-level beast's technique from last time? How can Nghiem Hao control the beast's power without mutating his arm? She turned to him. "Nghiem Hao, looks like you owe me a lot of explanations." On the hospital rooftop, Tong Ni and Nghiem Hao faced each other, their conversation growing deeper. After hearing Nghiem Hao's explanation, Tong Ni crossed her arms, full of curiosity. "So you're saying you can not only absorb the beast's core but also copy their abilities through it, right?" she asked, her tone serious yet inquisitive. Nghiem Hao nodded, raising his hands as if illustrating. "Not only that, I can absorb the red mist and store it. That core seems to have self-healing abilities. Seeing his honesty, Tong Ni smirked, stroking her chin. Your powers are seriously diverse. Nghiem Hao continued, slowing down. I've gained their strength and abilities, but there's a risk I'll gradually turn into a beast and completely transform. He locked eyes with Tong Ni, his worry clear. At this rate, am I still human? Captain Tong, in your eyes, am I a person or a beast? Tong Ni didn't hesitate, answering honestly and sincerely. You're a unique existence. Whether you're human or monster depends on how you wield this power. She stepped closer, her voice gentle but firm. But your power is both a curse and a weapon. Standing before Nghiem Hao, she raised 2 fingers. Now you have 2 choices. 1. Join Tieu Tuyet as a reserve soldier in my faction. 2. Be seen as a potential threat, labeled a beast, and be purged. Nghiem Hao blinked, surprised. Purged? Tong Ni nodded seriously. Do you think anyone in this city can handle your current power? I can't do anything to you now, but against Su, you're not strong enough to fight back. Join my squad, and it won't be a disadvantage. I'll support you as much as I can. Seeing Tong Ni's enthusiasm, Nghiem Hao grew skeptical. He crossed his arms, stroking his chin. A dangerous guy I just met, whose power could go haywire any time. You really plan to recruit a pain like me? The price you're paying must be high. You're pushing hard just to get rookies, there's gotta be another motive, right? Tong Ni looked at him, eyes resolute. You're smart. For some reason, I really need you, but you have to trust we're not enemies. She held up a photo in front of Nghiem Hao. Maybe you can see this as a deal. Seeing the photo, Nghiem Hao flinched, touching his jacket pocket. What? How did my photo end up with you? Tong Ni smiled confidently. Don't underestimate me. Investigating your past is as easy as flipping a hand when I want. If you join Tieu Tuyet, I'll use the highest level intel network to help you track down the girl in this photo. Faced with Tong Ni's offer, Nghiem Hao saw it as a solid choice. Searching blindly alone has limits. Like you said, having status and connections makes things easier. He agreed, reaching out to take back the photo, sealing the deal. Then he chuckled oddly, scratching his head. But Captain, if you need me this badly, a raise wouldn't hurt, right? I've spent all my past wages looking for my sister anyway. Sergeant Tong Ni saw the mission was a success, feeling satisfied but still made sure to put this rookie in line. Sergeant Nghiem Hao, as the Blood Oath squad leader, I approve you as a Blood Oath reserve soldier with the highest pay grade. Now, get the paperwork done for me immediately. Nghiem Hao recalled the holes he'd just blasted through the building, quickly planned his escape, and dashed for the door, hands clenched tight. Order received, Captain Tong. I'll get the paperwork done right away. But Tong Ni called him back. Oh right, I already covered the damage compensation for you. I'm not demanding it now, but later it'll be deducted from your salary. Hearing he was about to lose money, Nghiem Hao scratched his head sadly, and left guess he still had to pay up. Tong Ni watched his retreating back, her mind drifting to her uncle. Uncle, I swear I'll find a way to save you. I feel like he's carrying the key to turning those mutated beasts back into humans. In Redstone City, a military vehicle pulled up to the patrol squad's base. Nghiem Hao and a guard got out, ready to handle registration. Nghiem Hao asked curiously, You planning to join the special forces too? Only now did Nghiem Hao get a good look at the guard's face. The guy confidently pointed to his chest, pride shining in his eyes. Captain Tong and the deputy both rate me highly. Even though I'm in logistics, Nghiem Hao, we can back each other up down the line. His friendly attitude reminded Nghiem Hao of their time working together in the guard squad, but Nghiem Hao couldn't help but wonder about those the guard considered his dependents. He asked himself, what's this guy's name again? Probably never paid attention before, so he couldn't remember. The guard waved toward the back of Nghiem Hao and said, That's Captain Ko, he's all good. Nghiem Hao turned to see a group from the city defense squad surrounding Captain Ko. The blond man was still covered in wounds, limbs heavily bandaged. After the red mist outbreak, he had to limp with a cane. Facing him was an old friend turned enemy, Truong Thuy, now captain of Redstone City's defense squad. Old Ko, that guy split us up over some woman. Truong Thuy smirked, shoving Captain Ko against the wall. Now you're like a stray dog. Coming here to beg our city defense for compensation for your squad? Seeing this, the lower-ranking guard couldn't hold back and lunged at the defense squad. But his strength was limited. 2 squad members pinned him to the ground. Relying on raw power alone, he couldn't win, so he shouted, You bastard, let go of our Captain Ko. Truong Thuy spat nearby, full of contempt. Kneel down and lick the mud off my boots, or, he sneered, pointing at the guard, I'll break this kid's arm and make it a permanent weight for you. Trapped in a dilemma, Captain Ko was furious but had no choice but to accept reality, and prepared to kneel as Truong Thuy ordered. But at that moment, Nghiem Hao stepped forward, blocking Captain Ko, lifting him up and saying, No need to kneel. Captain Ko looked up, stunned to see the lazy net-casting guy he once covered, for now boldly standing up for him against overwhelming odds. He was moved. Nghiem Hao, you. Nghiem Hao smiled. You helped me a lot before. This time, let me repay you. Then he faced the city defense squad and shouted, I'm Nghiem Hao. Anyone who lays a finger on Captain Ko today, I'll shatter their bones and feed them to the dogs. Seeing a young guy dare to threaten the whole city defense squad, they turned furious, faces darkening. They charged, determined to teach Nghiem Hao a lesson. You want to die that badly? They yelled. Nghiem Hao stayed unfazed, stepped forward, kicked one down, then punched the second with a powerful blow. In seconds, 4 city defense members were down, each taken out with a single hit. Everyone around was shocked by his strength. One city defense member spoke up, our company captain is an E-rank soldier. Messing with us means you're dead meat. Trung Thuy stared at his 4 fallen men, horrified and speechless. How is this kid so strong? Took down 4 guys in 4 seconds. 1 per second, even stronger than me. Seeing he couldn't fight barehanded, Trung Thuy pulled out a gun and aimed at Nghiem Hao. Patrol scum like you dare resist law enforcement? I'll shoot you dead and report later. Nghiem Hao easily dodged the bullets, smirking, too slow. You even know how to shoot? He lunged, grabbed Trung Thuy's gun, and said, your trigger finger's way too slow. After speaking, he crushed the gun with his bare hands, leaving Trung Thuy stunned with his mouth wide open. Nghiem Hao released his grip, and the shattered pieces of the gun fell to the ground, accompanied by a smoky aura from his overwhelming power, just 1% of Tong Ni's strength. Humiliated in front of the crowd and his own men, his pride was utterly shattered. He retreated and charged straight at Nghiem Hao. But Nghiem Hao didn't even bother dodging the weak, slow attack. Without a word, he grabbed the guy's arm with one hand, spun him around, then choked him, lifting him off the ground. So, you were the one talking about making Captain Ko lick your feet? Only now did Trung Thuy realize he was nothing compared to Nghiem Hao's power. All he had left was to rely on the captain's reputation to scare people. What are you planning to do? I warn you, don't get reckless. But before he could finish, Nghiem Hao's eyes turned icy cold, ignoring his words completely. He slammed his head hard onto the ground. The impact cracked the earth into pieces. Trung Thuy passed out, foaming at the mouth, lying flat on the ground. After that, the rest of the onlookers panicked and fled immediately. He even dodged bullets and crushed them with his bare hands. Nghiem Hao didn't care about the guards at all, just flicked his hand as if brushing off something dirty. He looked at his arm, where a flash of red energy appeared, realizing that his physique, enhanced by the mutant core, had far exceeded initial expectations. Nghiem Hao approached the crossbow, picked it up, while the guards and Trung Thuy hurriedly ran away. He's a monster, run. The black-clad guard who had been confident facing Nghiem Hao just moments ago now changed his tone and came over to pat him on the shoulder. Nghiem, you were a total war god back there. Nghiem Hao was a bit surprised by the sudden change. Oh, you okay? He quickly replied. I'm fine, my body can take a hit. Nghiem Hao stepped up to Captain Ko and returned the crossbow. Captain Ko, here you go. The captain said, thanks, Nghiem Hao. He smiled. No need to thank me. You've always helped me before. Now I'm just returning the favor by protecting you, that's only natural. Captain Ko worriedly said. If the city defense team comes looking to cause trouble for you. But he didn't finish his sentence. The guard next to him quickly said, Captain, don't worry. Nghiem Hao and I are part of the special ops team now. The city defense won't dare touch us. At the temporary base of the Sihach City Special Ops, Nghiem Hao completed the paperwork and returned. He went to Tong Ni to report. Tong Ni held his assessment report and said, I've already sent your application to headquarters. She handed Nghiem Hao the approved assessment form. Headquarters has approved your assessment. Nghiem Hao couldn't help but say, oh, not bad. He happily held the notice. So that means I'm officially a member of the special ops team now, right? Tong Ni immediately shot him down. No, don't get ahead of yourself. Nghiem Hao, the real challenge starts now. She looked at him and continued. You have to head straight to headquarters in Ho Thon and take part in the selection evaluation for the Special Ops Combat Unit. But I believe with your skills, you'll breeze through it. Nghiem Hao smiled confidently, cracking his knuckles. Got it, wait for me to break the record. In Ho Thon City, military vehicles accompanied by a cargo truck were entering the city. Inside the vehicle, Tong Ni held the notice and briefly introduced the new recruits. This is Ho Thon, the capital of the region and the headquarters of the combat unit. Nghiem Hao sat in the back, pointing at a guard who was forced to admire the scenery, and asked, I heard official combat unit members are at least rank D warriors. How is this warrior's rank evaluated? This weakling can even take the combat unit assessment? The black guard laughed, Nghiem Hao, scratching his head. Haha, my strength is just that I can take hits pretty well. Tong Ni continued explaining in detail. He's in logistics, not combat, so he doesn't have to participate in fighting challenges. Hearing that, the person opposite immediately regained confidence, patted his shoulder, and laughed loudly. The logistics team will be with you on the battlefield, so you'll need me a lot. Haha, lucky we have time to bond, let's exchange info. People like me, those who can activate supernatural powers, are collectively called warriors. Their combat strength is classified into 6 ranks, from highest to lowest. S, A, B, C, D, E. The Special Ops team has its own evaluation system based on each person's physical strength and stamina. As for mutant beasts, they're ranked from weakest to strongest. Nghiem Hao, Lich Kuyen, Ba Chu, Kuthu, and Tai Ach. To compare warrior ranks and mutant beasts, a rank E warrior can defeat a Nghiem Hao beast. Similarly, a rank D warrior has faced Lich Kuyen beasts, while rank B and C warriors are on par with Ba Chu beasts. An A-rank warrior once faced a C-rank mutant beast, and an S-rank warrior can take on a Tai Ach rank mutant beast. Besides that, the compatibility with the Chi core also significantly affects the rank. Hearing this, Nghiem Hao seriously asked, "What do you mean by Chi core compatibility?" Tong Nier explained, "Exactly. In this apocalypse world, only mutant beasts mutated by the Red Frost possess supernatural abilities. As for us human warriors, we rely on Chi core weapons, compatible with the mutant beast's Chi core. To use supernatural abilities, physique, talent, and even luck all affect compatibility. The higher the compatibility, the greater the quality and quantity of supernatural abilities activated. Without compatibility, you can only reach E rank." Later, Tong Nier's military convoy was stopped by an officer. "Sorry, this road is currently blocked. Please take another route." A driver up front questioned, "You're blocking the special response team's route?" The soldiers nearby explained, "Sorry, we're just carrying out orders. There's no other way." Seeing the Luke Dong emblem on the vehicle passing the soldier barricade, Tong Nier had a bad feeling. Why would a big corporation like Luke Dong show up at the Tieu Tuyet team selection trial? Something's off. An hour later, at the Tieu Tuyet selection area, the judges stood before the candidates and announced, "Tieu Tuyet is humanity's strongest rear guard and the sharpest blade of the special response team." The chief judge, S-rank warrior Lam Dong-tin, stood with arms crossed behind his back and declared seriously, "I don't care about your background. If you're here, you must follow the rules. No backdoor deals here, not even if you're the president's nephew. Without real ability, don't dream of staying in my Tieu Tuyet." Then he raised his hand and declared the start of the trial. First up, physical test, begin. The first physical test was carrying a 50 kilograms weight and sprinting 100 meters. In this round, Nghiem Hao blew past the others and set a record with 5.1 seconds. Next was the electronic strength test, measuring arm power. While a normal person could only lift a 30 kilograms dumbbell with one hand, Nghiem Hao casually lifted 500 kilograms like it was a rock, shocking everyone around. He's lifting 500 kilograms with one hand. During the punch strength test, he didn't go full force, fearing to break the machine, but even a moderate punch made the force meter spark and smoke. The nearby judge gaped. "The punch meter's broken, can't measure." 10 minutes later, Nghiem Hao stood before the chief judge, arms crossed behind his back, reporting, "Report, all tests completed." Lam Dong-tin held the score sheet, slightly surprised, confirming completion with 198 points. People around started murmuring, 198 points? The previous rookie record was only 180 points. Is he cheating? Definitely. A dissatisfied man stepped forward. "Judge Lam, the highest rookie record when joining was 140 points, but his score far exceeds that. I don't buy it." That's Chung Turn, younger brother of the Tieu Tuyet City Defense Squad captain and brother of Chung Thui. Lam Dong-tin glared at him. "I personally supervise this. And there are security cameras here. Are you accusing me of backdoor deals for him?" Chung Turn smirked, eyes sharp as he scanned Nghiem Hao. "No way, just curious." Then he stepped behind him. "You're Nghiem Hao, right? Part of the Tieu Tuyet City Patrol." Nghiem Hao, puzzled by this dangerous stranger, asked, "What's up?" Chung Turn sneered, the smile of a villain about to get served. "Nothing, just asking since we're in the same rotation." As he spoke, he suppressed his anger, recalling the humiliation his brother suffered. "Tieu Tuyet, just wait, I'll pay you back tenfold." Nghiem Hao grew more suspicious, watching the stranger's retreating figure. He's in the same rotation? Why haven't I heard of him? Facing him, Lam Dong-tin explained. "His name's Chung Turn, a young master of the Tieu Tuyet City defense team. You two know each other?" "No," Nghiem Hao replied, but already piecing things together. "The Tieu Tuyet City defense team, huh? So that's it. He wants revenge for that Trung Thui guy I beat earlier. That defense team is rotten to the core." Lam Dong-tin continued announcing the trial results. Physical test results. Rank 30, chương 89 points. Rank 29, chương tận 123 points. Rank 2, Nghiem Hao 135 points. And Rank 1, Nghiem Hao 198 points. Behind Nghiem Hao, a beautiful blonde girl stared intently at his strong back, like a fan meeting their idol. At first, I just came to take the test for fun, but I didn't expect such a messy rookie this year. This is interesting. I need to study him closely. That's Nghiem Hao, who just ranked second in the physical test and is also a senior researcher in the Technical Intelligence Division. Lam Dung-tin continued. The top 15 on the list will be retained. The next test is compatibility with the Chi core. In Chung Turn's single dorm room, Han was chatting through a tablet. I could have taken first place. From behind the tablet with Luke Dong's logo, a voice rang out. If your brother wasn't Luke Dong's lapdog, would you even qualify for this exam? Chung Turn frowned, his anger brewing. Who knew 2 more monsters would show up? On the screen, 2 men sat cross-legged, discussing pills. You only get 1 shot, so handle it well. After the chat ended, Han clenched his fists, his face darkening. For my brother, I have to get into Tieu Tuyet. At the Chi core testing lab, 15 candidates who passed round 1 stood at attention, waiting their turn. Lam Dung-tin, holding a wristband device, announced, "This test is simple. Just wear this wristband and place the Chi core on your wrist. We'll check your compatibility with the Chi core. Below 40% means immediate disqualification. If anyone's unclear, I'll briefly explain what a Chi core is." Images of various Chi cores appeared beside Lam Dung-tin. He continued, "Only beasts at the Ko-san level or higher produce Chi cores. The stronger the beast, the higher the quality of the core. By embedding the Chi core into beast armor, warriors can use abilities like the beasts. Everyone's compatibility varies, awakening innate talents with 3 main attributes: element, power, and control support. This wrist armor is the lowest tier, only testing compatibility and granting no special abilities. After joining Tieu Tuyet's combat unit, you'll get better Chi cores and gear." After explaining, Lam Dung-tin declared the Chi core compatibility test started. The first candidate stepped up. The screen showed D rank, 39% compatibility, just 1% short. Han knelt, heartbroken. "I ranked 5th in physical strength, but this test is tougher than beating beasts." But no one noticed Han's tears, as the second candidate went up, D rank, 56% compatibility. Han raised his hand joyfully. "I passed. I can join Tieu Tuyet now." Next was Chung Turn. Lam Dung-tin's cold voice called out, "Chung Turn, your turn." Han's eyes reddened, his face aged as if he'd used stimulants. Han stepped forward, snorted coldly, strapped on the wrist armor, slammed the Chi core down fiercely. Gritting his teeth, he threatened, "Behave yourself, punk." The board showed D rank with 60% compatibility. The crowd murmured, "Last time strongest only hit 56%. So he's the strongest this round." Chung Turn smirked arrogantly. "Asterisk, a bunch of trash. I'm the real strongest here." Asterisk. Han stepped down amid whispers. Everyone agreed. Chung Turn was the strongest this time. From behind, Kim Nuan approached, eyes locked curiously on Nghiem Hao. "You're from Sikthark City? Why have I never heard of someone as strong as you before? I know everything in the Technical Intelligence Division, yet you slipped past me. You're no ordinary guy." The strange spike in red mist concentration in Sikthark a few days ago might be connected to you. Mentioning intelligence, Nghiem Hao immediately avoided her gaze, sweat dripping down his forehead. Han tried to dodge. What are you talking about? I don't get it." Nghiem Hao crossed her arms, smirking. "Deny all you want, but I'm very interested in you." Nghiem Hao realized he could use her. He turned and asked, "So, young miss knows everything. Can I ask you to gather info on someone?" Nghiem Hao twirled her finger, winking challengingly. "Sure. But I have conditions." She pointed at the Chi core compatibility machine. "If your score beats mine, I'll help you with anything you want, no limits." Lam Dung-tin spoke up again. Next, Nghiem Hao hurried up, waving her hand. Come here, come here." Standing before the machine, hands on hips, she confidently declared, "Watch closely, I'm about to break Chung Turn's record." Nghiem Hao, below the stage, couldn't help but wonder, is she really that strong to be this confident? Chung Turn kept his smug face, scoffing, all show. Nghiem Hao strapped on the armor, spun the core a few times, then attached it to the armor like a transforming hero, a confident smile spreading across her face. Look closely, the screen shows rank D, compatibility at 78%. The crowd froze instantly. A rank D soldier with 78% compatibility? This has never happened before. The system must be glitching. Nghiem Hao gave a thumbs up, smiling bright like a K-pop idol. Heh. She stepped down, making a V sign with both hands in front of Trung Turn, teasing him. See that? I told you I'd break your record. Trung Turn clenched his fists, eyes burning with hatred, thinking that besides Nghiem Hao, he wouldn't spare this idiot either. Lam Dong-tin announced the last participant, Nghiem Hao. She stepped forward, thinking to herself that this girl was strong, maybe she wasn't lying. She really knew a lot. After teasing Trung Turn, Kim Hwan turned to glare challengingly at Nghiem Hao. So, feeling the pressure yet? Nghiem Hao stepped up, one hand swinging the core, the other pointing to the sky, full of confidence. She said, "Watch closely." Holding the core, he thought, to get a lead on Tieu Tuyet, I have to win this round. He placed the core into the gauntlet, confidently raising his arm. Let's see my compatibility. The screen flashed rank C, leaving the crowd wide-eyed. First time a rank C appeared in this test. Suddenly, the system started repeating an alert. Error detected, error detected. The announcement stunned everyone. All eyes locked on the display. This was the first time the system glitched. Compatibility? What's going on? The alert kept blaring, but this time with a strange tone. Checking core compatibility, none detected. Nghiem Hao stood frozen, muttering, "Huh?" Trung Turn laughed triumphantly, pointing at him. "Haha, you trash, acting all tough, you're making me laugh my ass off. Even the core rejects you." Nghiem Hao immediately frowned, eyes cold, already picking his next target. Suddenly, he felt something weird on his gauntlet. Looking down, he saw the core turning into red bone strands, then being absorbed into his arm. Not good, am I forcibly absorbing this core? He tried to hold back, worried his secret would be exposed. Before he could react, Kim Hoan dashed to the control panel. Core compatibility? This has never happened before. Even the lowest rank should have some compatibility. She looked like a mad scientist, laughing while furiously typing on the panel. Gotta record this event. My old man will be super interested. Trung Turn suddenly realized something, a sly smile creeping across his lips. Hey, where's that bastard's core? He pointed at Nghiem Hao and shouted, "Report to the instructor." Instructor's mistake. Nghiem Hao secretly hid the core. It disappeared from his hand. Hearing this, Lam Dung-tin was startled and immediately ordered, "Nghiem Hao, show me your gauntlet and core right now." He raised his hand, but the core on the gauntlet had vanished without a trace. Dung-tin's face turned stern. "Where's the core on your hand? Hand it over immediately." The tension was so thick it felt like a noose tightening. Nghiem Hao froze, stammering, "I don't know why it disappeared." Time was ticking. He thought fast he had to explain, or risk being forced into experiments. A quick plan formed. He decided to take a gamble. Just wing it, pretend it's a skill, and see if the core activates. From his hand, a red mist spread, his arm slowly transforming into a mutated form before everyone's eyes. Trung Turn was shocked. What the hell is happening? Lam Dung-tin gripped his weapon tightly, warning everyone to stay alert and back off. This test subject is losing it. She let go, winked, and flashed a charming smile to grab his attention. Told you, she knows everything. Dung-tin stepped forward, patted Kim Hwan's head, then revealed, she's Kim Hwan, this round's test candidate and a senior researcher at the Technical Intelligence Bureau. Not only that, she's Major General Kim An-thon, in charge of the entire R&D department. Kim Hwan blushed, clenched her fists, and said, "Instructor Lam, you just blew my cover. My mysterious beauty image is ruined." Dung-tin chuckled softly. "All right, that's enough excitement." Nghiem Hao was ordered to hand over the core, but he could only awkwardly scratch his head and reply, "Instructor Lam, I can't give it to you. It's already merged with my body." He pointed to his wrist armor and added, "It's been inside me the whole time, refusing to come out." Trung Tan, standing behind, witnessing the exchange between Nghiem Hao and Dung-tin, muttered to himself, the core has really entered his body. Amid the crowd pushing and whispering about this strange situation, Trung Tan covered his scheming face with one hand. Need to report this to Luke Dang immediately. This guy will definitely make a perfect test subject. Sometime later, Nghiem Hao was taken to the radiation room for a body check. Researchers were busy analyzing his stats. One of them exclaimed, "I've never seen anything like this. How can a core survive inside a human body?" Another researcher agreed. Moreover, it seems fully integrated into his body. Hey, is it even possible to remove it? He turned to Kim Kyuk and asked, "What do you think about this?" Kim Hoan, eagerly waiting to uncover the secret inside Nghiem Hao, listened intently. Kim Kook, the Mulberry King, eyes curious. Definitely worth studying. There must be many secrets hidden in him. He was Kim An-thon, Deputy Director of the Technical Intelligence Bureau and assistant to Kim An. Dung-tin and a well-dressed man entered. Kim Kyuk asked, "What's the situation? Anything special about this kid's body?" Kim An-thon teased, "What's up? Is Si Huyet still sticking to that rigid rule? Never accepting below 40%. Tong Lim, Special Forces captain and assistant to Tong Ni, stepped forward. Cut the crap. Kim and Thon, be straight, what's going on? Looking at the datasheet. This test device was developed by me and Luke Dang. I know better than anyone. This isn't about percentage. Kim On, losing patience, waved at his assistant. Come on, spill it, I'm getting antsy. What's so special about his body? Kim On Thon laughed like a mad scientist. His body exceeds the machine's detection range. His compatibility surpasses the theoretical max. I set 100%. Hearing this, Tong Lim grew serious, frowning as if receiving critical news about the country's future. He turned and said, Dung Tin, follow me now. Dung Tin immediately replied, Yes, sir. Inside the lightning chamber, Nghiem Hao felt the core in his body shift from black to red. He smiled with satisfaction. Is this because I absorbed that small core? Before, I absorbed the core of a level 3 beast, stole its power, and activated the core inside me. This time, even though I didn't gain any power from the lower level core, it was enhanced. Meaning, the stronger the beast, the stronger I become after absorption. As long as I keep absorbing beast cores, I can keep evolving endlessly. At Si Huyet headquarters, Tong Ni questioned Tong Liam. Nghiem Hao is the kid I brought in. Is there a problem with him joining my squad? Tong Liam coldly replied. Understood, Tong Ni. Pay attention to your identity and conduct. Also, haven't you been too obsessed with that rookie? Tong Ni tried to explain. Dad, I promised to bring him into my team. No one can make you a soldier who breaks promises. Tong Liam folded his arms behind his back, ready to leave. A soldier's loyalty is to the country, not individuals. Nghiem Hao has joined Dung Tin's squad, and that's final. He turned back, eyes cold. As Si Huyet's squad leader, are you trying to poach him from Han? Return to your post immediately. That's an order. Tong Ni had no choice but to reply, Yes, sir. But inwardly, she thought she had to find another plan. At the Si Huyet barracks lounge, Kim Hoan shouted, Nghiem Hao! Nghiem Hao! Hot news! She ran up smiling. A new monster lair was found between Ho City and the town. Zichthach will send Si Huyet rookies to explore. I asked Officer Lam to let our group form a team, which might surprise you. Squad leader Dung Tin finally ordered. The mission is to scout and assess threat level. Stay alert even though it's a low-level monster lair. It could mutate due to missed explosions. Kim Hone, confident, said, Data collection is my specialty. Don't worry, I'll cover you. Though small, she's rank D, just below his C. The convoy moved quickly as Kim Hone explained. Monster lairs' threat levels are divided into 4, low, medium, high, and extreme. There are many types too. The low-level lair we're heading to is a hive, characterized by a simple structure but complex tunnels inside. The most interesting part is, she leaned close, guiding his hand to point out a large group of worker ants and a few soldier ants while he was lost in thought. Just a hive, why do we need 3 vehicles? Kim Hoan laughed loudly with her new mat. These aren't ordinary little ants. They arrived and looked up at the sky. He couldn't help but say, The Hive Festival? So it's this huge? The Chi assistant shouted for everyone to hold tight as he steered the vehicle, while a barrage of arrows launched a defensive attack on them. Kim Hwan panicked, shouting, It's the Iron Thorn! Our armored vehicle won't hold up. Nghiem Hao received orders to take them out, and it was the perfect chance to test his new skill. He used his mutation to shield the vehicle's door from the attack, then dashed out with both hands already mutated. His technique was lightning fast and slick. The driver panicked. He's got that much power too? Kim Hwan explained. At first, we thought he could only transform himself, but now he's using that ability to protect the vehicle. So OP, she excitedly said. So he can turn anything into a weapon. That's seriously fire. I need to record his combat data for research. While he was fighting, suddenly a blue light shot toward him, piercing through his attack. Too dangerous. We need to find where that shot came from, Nghiem Hao shouted. Enemies hiding and attacking. Everyone, find cover. They quickly ducked behind a rock, while a guy in protective gear rushed forward, trying to burn the swarm with fire. But in a blink, the blue bullet hit the fuel tank he was carrying, causing a massive explosion. Nghiem Hao yelled, Kim Hwan, where are those blue spikes coming from? She checked her data and replied, It's the alpha of the Learp Queen rank. Its tail has venom that can corrode armor up to vehicle grade. And it's Learp Queen rank? The intel was wrong. This isn't a level 10 nest at all. He quickly came up with a plan. I'll handle the alpha. Help me hold this swarm back. Kim Hwan immediately unleashed her wind power, a storm blast straight ahead. The swarm was pushed back, clearing the way for Nghiem Hao to charge. The alpha grew even bigger, its red eyes ready to tear him apart. Nghiem Hao used his power to morph the vehicle door into a long shape, then bent it into a steel spear so sick. He stomped back hard, cracking the ground, and hurled the spear with all his might. Each spear pierced the Alpha's body like bullets, but it didn't even flinch. Why is it so broken? Kim Hwan rushed over. Nghiem Hao, don't let it escape. It's about to break through to Overlord. But he was already drained, collapsing to the ground, thinking to himself, if I hadn't used up all my energy without the red mist to recharge, I could have saved some to kill the Alpha. His little sis came over, supporting him under the arm, teasing, at the amusement park, are you washing up or what? Need a CPR manual? Nghiem Hao sat up, saying, I'm not a fan of kids, so what, she's my sis now? She snapped back. Who's the kid with full electricity and water? Deal with it. She handed him a chocolate bar, but he wasn't hungry, so she just gobbled it down. They decided to report this to HQ to call for backup. Meanwhile, the red mist concentration in the swarm was about to greedily surge forward, and with the Alpha injured, this was their chance to make a big move. Back at HQ, Captain Dung got the alert and panicked. The Alpha's danger level has upgraded, and Nghiem Hao and Kim An are already inside? The old man spoke up. Calm down. Though Kim An's a bit cocky, she's cautious and won't take risks without a sure lead. He ordered, immediately dispatch the nearest blood warriors for backup. Priority is to secure Kim An and Nghiem Hao. Secondary objective, destroy the monster swarm. By now, Dung Tree's squad had been discharged and was en route. Tong Nier's father said, I'll let your younger brother follow her. That's okay, right? The strategist, he arranged the approach to protect his daughter. Though strict outside, inside he was still a peaceful dad. Back inside, the two elders suited up in anti-mist combat gear. As blood warriors, only they understood these creatures. Kim An reported, energy levels haven't changed much, but when the Alpha evolved into an overlord, the difficulty of conquering the monster nest skyrocketed. Sensing something, he ordered a halt. The Alpha burst out from the swarm to defend the nest, growing even bigger. They realized it had successfully ranked up to Overlord, the unique Iron Thorn Overlord. We're cooked, boss, Kim An muttered. How did this happen? The low red mist concentration shouldn't have sped up its growth. And the worker swarm got buffed too. Holding the device, she screamed, the red mist concentration is past the warning level. Why isn't this damn machine alerting us? She collapsed in frustration. Turns out their protective suits had been tampered with, weakening their defense against the red mist. There's a traitor among the blood warriors. Immediately, countless devices rushed in, forcing them to retreat. As he ran, he thought the opposite, he needed blood mist, yet it surged right to his mouth. But Master Kim An had to set up the stone properly. Otherwise, with this electric attack, he couldn't fight with peace of mind. He quickly found a small cave, then used a rock to block the entrance, turning to Kim An and instructing, stay here, you can hold out for a while. I'll go handle them. Before leaving, she shouted, Hey Nghiem Hao, if you don't come back, I won't spare you even in hell. Confidently, he replied, don't worry, I'll definitely return. Just a moment. Nghiem Hao absorbed enough blood mist and was ready for a no-holds-barred fight. He decided to use an energy cannon once he secured the boss's lair. Even with one move, his strength would drain completely. Failure was not an option. He focused his power into the red energy orb in his hand and threw it, triggering a crimson explosion that cracked the earth and punched a hole through the hive. The attack succeeded, the red mist remained, and the bees were unharmed, leaving him confused. This is seriously busted. 3 minutes earlier at Kim Anja's spot, she was repairing the blood mist measuring device and finally finished. It alerted her that the dangerous red mist concentration had doubled the warning level. Suddenly, a shock startled her. Looking up, she saw a huge hole and wondered, was that explosion outside? How did it make the red mist even thicker? She hid inside the mountain pass, observing and assessing. Thanks to absorbing high-concentration red mist, these bees evolved rapidly. Even the lowest-level assassins had evolved into beast, tier. Meanwhile, he noticed during battle that the more he fought, the more and stronger they became, despite the red mist around him and his replenishment rate not dropping. This is going to be a disaster. Kim An realized this too. She saw Nghiem Hao showing symptoms of red mist corruption, with the mist concentration rising and the orb about to lose control. She immediately used her suppression bullets to blow away the red mist, wrapping him, throwing the wind orb at that moment. She made it spin, chasing all the red mist off him. Nghiem Hao was furious. Bro, my teammates are dying. How am I supposed to heal now? The venomous bees swarmed him. Though he blocked with his hands, their paralyzing effect was brutal. Another swarm attacked from behind, no way to dodge this. Of course, someone rushed in to shield him. Fo Quan Lum Lum, Rank X, Strength Type, Basic Ability, Body Enhancement, Derivative Ability, Stone Bow Transformation, Super Sensing, Beast Core Source. Paralysis boss. He warned. The blocking fight isn't over. Focus up. Another swarm surrounded them, but purple bullets shot them down. It was Tong Nier, rank X, who had arrived immediately after receiving orders from headquarters to reinforce. She ordered a full assault. The team quickly joined the blocking fight. Assigned squads used fire to burn the bees, while Nghiem Hao and the vice captain stepped back to rest. At that moment, the boss charged straight at them, but Captain Tong stopped it with shredding bullets. The boss was paralyzed, unable to move, trying to fly away. He remarked, "So even broken, it's still strong." The vice captain explained last time she wasn't carrying combat gear. While everyone was distracted, he sneaked aside to absorb red mist and heal. Of course, everyone noticed and shouted, "Watch out! The boss is absorbing all the red mist here to level up." Someone yelled, "No way! Didn't it just become a boss already?" The bees swarmed more densely. "In this crisis," he shouted, "I've got a way to use the boss, wipe it out now." He dodged attacks at lightning speed, constantly irritating it. Nghiem Hao realized fighting barehanded wouldn't cut it. He launched a blood fury orb, but it was deflected, nearly hit by its spikes. He thought he needed a weapon, but the boss's spikes nearby could be used to block. He transformed a spike into his sword, and charged, unleashing a full-power crimson blood slash. With a thunderous roar, the boss was finally taken down. Its crystal shard flew out. He grabbed it but immediately absorbed it, causing sharp pain. Everyone panicked, but he was just absorbing loot. Part 1 ends here. Don't forget to drop a like for your bro. The big bro risked inhaling blood mist to save his little sister. And instead of turning into a monster, he awakened a super mutant form. Killing mutant beasts boosted his power, and to get stronger, he decided to absorb the SSS tier boss. The backstory. An archaeological team accidentally triggered an ancient seal, unleashing a disaster on humanity. Blood mist spread rapidly across the city, driving humans insane and causing sudden deaths, while most animals mutated into ferocious beasts. Everywhere they passed was left in ruins. 3 days ago, the blood fog phenomenon started appearing worldwide. The loudspeakers kept warning people to stay indoors and avoid going outside. At that time, Nghiem Hao was traveling with his family in a car. A military officer urgently knocked on the car window, ordering them to move immediately. His mom found the sudden military presence strange. While Nghiem Hao was skeptical of their words, no way they needed the army for this. Seeing his little sister scared, he reassured her, "Don't worry, we're all here with you." Still, he felt the tension in the air. What was this red fog that made the military act so fast? Suddenly, an explosion roared as a car crashed down right above their family vehicle. Nghiem Hao quickly shielded his sister and asked his parents, "Are you guys okay?" Unfortunately, his parents were trapped, unable to escape. Then, a loud noise echoed, and the whole family turned toward it. A giant mutated beast was attacking the soldiers. Nghiem Hao gasped, "What is that thing?" Sensing danger, Nghiem Hao ordered everyone to get out of the car. He slammed the door, but the side where his parents were was stuck under the fallen vehicle. His mom said, "Take your sister and go, don't worry about us." But Nghiem Hao was firm, "No way, I'm saving them." A terrified scream echoed nearby as a mutated beast attacked a man. The horrifying scene made his sister tremble, while his mom held his hand tightly, trying to comfort him. Before he could rescue his parents, something fell from above, throwing Nghiem Hao and Tieu Tuyet far away. It was the mutated beast that had attacked the man, a giant wolf-like creature with exposed spine and a missing belly, leaving bare ribs. Seeing this, his sister screamed, "Mom! Dad!" The beast turned, spotting the siblings still alive and ready to attack. He grabbed his sister's hand and they ran for their lives. On the way, the apocalypse-like scene unfolded before his eyes. In the sky, hundreds of giant monsters attacked, causing planes and helicopters to explode and crash. On the ground, other monsters chased the survivors. The strange red fog was turning humans and animals crazy and bloodthirsty. What the hell is happening to this world, he wondered. Cut to a supermarket where mutated wolves had caught the scent of survivors and were moving in. The siblings hid behind a food shelf. He covered his sister's mouth to stop her from screaming and attracting the monsters. After a while, he looked back and saw the monsters had moved away. He sighed in relief and let go. But suddenly, red veins started spreading across his sister's face. The intense pain made her clutch her head, writhing. He worriedly asked, "Tieu Tuyet, what's wrong?" She replied, "Bro, I feel awful." Looking in the mirror, he saw the same red veins spreading on his face. He immediately knew this was the red fog's effect. He quickly grabbed a wet cloth and handed it to his sister. "Cover up. Don't breathe in the red fog anymore." The red veins on his face became clearer and spread. The pain so intense he collapsed. "It hurts. It's burning. Something inside me is breaking free." After the pain and veins vanished, his sister saw him lying down and asked, "Bro, Are you okay? He struggled to control the pain and reassured her. I'm fine. Suddenly, a monster spotted them and slowly approached. Focused on their pain, they didn't notice the danger until the terrifying face and long fangs appeared. We're cooked, they found us. He grabbed Tieu Tuyet's hand and ran again. But just as they escaped the supermarket, a bigger monster blocked their path. Turning back, the first monster also changed direction toward them. No way, we're trapped from both sides. Tieu Tuyet anxiously asked, Bro, what do we do now? He hugged his sister tight and said, Don't be scared, I'm here. At that moment, a giant monster flying overhead let out a deafening roar. The other monsters immediately surrounded the siblings. This was clearly the strongest beast they'd faced since the escape began. Asterisk. Are we really going to end here today? Asterisk, he thought. Luckily, he spotted an escape route through the circle. Without hesitation, he grabbed his sister's hand and ran toward it. But unfortunately, another monster was waiting inside. Outside was even more dangerous, so fighting was their only option. He grabbed a wooden plank nearby, ready to face the beast. However, his resistance was like a grasshopper trying to fight a truck. The plank was instantly crushed by the monster's powerful jaws. It lunged at me, jaws wide open, ready to swallow its prey whole. Luckily, I managed to fend it off with my hands and feet, but its strength slammed me hard against the wall. Just then, an arrow flew in, blinding one of the monster's eyes. Little Tuyet had saved me just in time with her bow. It was just prey, yet it got injured. The monster, furious, immediately charged at Little Tuyet. I shouted, Run fast, don't look back. Little Tuyet tossed her crossbow aside and sprinted away 3/4 of the way. Red veins suddenly spread across my body. Racked with pain, I clutched my chest, coughing up blood, eyes watering as I watched my sister escape. Jiang Ngurng leaned against the wall to keep from falling, and I gasped in despair. Asterisk, why now? Why at this moment? Seeing the mutant beast about to harm my sister, rage exploded inside me. My fist clenched so hard the concrete wall shattered. A burst of power smashed through the wall and surged at the monster, making it roar in agony. My eyes burned red, gripping an iron rod. I roared, Die! The rod pierced its skull, blood splattering everywhere. Each swing drove the rod deeper, creating fatal wounds. Little Tuyet stared in shock at her brother-turned-beast. She rushed to hug me tightly. Bro, what's wrong? Stop, I'm fine. Her voice echoed in my head, pulling me back to reality. My mother's image appeared, her final words. Nghiem Hao. Take good care of Little Tuyet. I looked at my sister, tears streaming down my cheeks, heart aching. Asterisk, sorry for making you worry, I'm okay now. Asterisk. Before I could finish, another mutant beast charged, its massive beak like a truck ready to swallow us both. In a flash, I grabbed Little Tuyet and rolled aside. The monster changed direction and kept attacking. I gripped my staff tightly, roaring, You damn thing, stay away from my sister. A powerful swing hit its nose, sending it crashing into the wall, nostrils bleeding. I turned to Little Tuyet, voice firm, Hide here, I'll lure it away. Little Tuyet clung to me, trembling. Don't go, I'm scared you'll lose control again. I gently patted her head. Don't worry, I won't this time. Sounds good, I'll come back for you. Little Tuyet nodded, eyes full of trust. I'll wait for you. From the shadows, a red energy emerged. I realized something, muttering, Asterisk, if I absorb this energy, maybe I'll get stronger. Asterisk. I pointed at the mutant leader, voice full of challenge. If I take you down, I'll have enough strength to protect my family. You can rest easy, knowing you're dead. The leader smirked mockingly as its minions charged. I fought fiercely, every strike knocking down enemies. One bit my shoulder, and the red veins on my arm suddenly glowed. My grip tightened, ready to tear the monster in half. My hands transformed, becoming tough and sharp like beast claws. I gasped, Is this power? Amazing. Suddenly, the leader's roar echoed, and its minions retreated immediately. I looked up to see a heavy fighter jet flying overhead. Coming out of the power-induced trance, I stared at my strange hands, muttering, Asterisk, what's happening to me? Asterisk, a bomb dropped nearby, chaos everywhere. I yelled, Little Tuyet, don't come out. The explosion thundered, dust filling the air. A military helicopter landed. Spotting my infection, they decided to leave me behind and only took Little Tuyet away. Exhausted, I helplessly watched my sister being taken before passing out. 6 months later, I still lived haunted by nightmares of Little Tuyet burning in flames, waking up breathless. I sighed. Asterisk that dream again. Little Tuyet, where are you? Asterisk. Holding my gun, I continued the search. Luckily, still undetected. Since Little Tuyet was taken, I'd scoured every refugee camp, but all in vain. My little sister vanished without a trace. To find her, I joined the lowest border patrol unit in the army, becoming a bottom-tier soldier. because in this chaotic time only the military could gather intel and move freely. Now, at Akisi border station, the blood-red fog still blanketed the city like nothing had changed. I ran up to a soldier, the captain of the Old Town patrol team. "Sorry, Captain. I'm here for my shift." Another soldier saw the familiar scene, sighing at the useless rookie again. Immediately, the captain kicked me in the butt. "Where the hell did this idiot pop up again? How long have you been on guard duty?" Kicked again, I hurried up to the watch post. The captain still worried about this rookie's lack of discipline, reminding me, "Nghiem Hao, some important officials are coming later, then we get a break. If you mess up again, I'll deal with you immediately." Got it. Standing on the watch post, looking down at the ruins of what was once a bustling city, I couldn't help but recall the past. 6 months ago, when the red fog started spreading, most cities turned to wastelands, becoming homes for mutant creatures. Along with the red mist, a mysterious tower appeared. The survivors could only gather and flee as far away from the tower and the red mist as possible. He remembered the old mutated beast that tore his brothers apart. Not sure if that guy was still alive, but I will definitely find you. Meanwhile, the captain lit a cigarette and chatted with his teammates. Since the special forces are handling things below, our guard duty is just for show. If even the special forces can fail, what can patrol guys like us do? Hearing that, the two teammates sighed. After all, that's a legendary special forces unit, there's no way they'd lose, right? Right, Captain? You're just trying to scare us? Their squad didn't come here for missions, they came to slaughter mutated beasts at will. At that moment, Nghiem Hao stood guard alone, staring at the red mist, thinking to himself how much he still hated the smell of that red mist after all this time. This stuff triggers the most primal blood instincts in creatures, making them attack each other. Suddenly, the red mist began to dissipate at a speed visible to the naked eye. "Not good. Something's coming this way." One of the team spoke up. "Captain, something's wrong, check over there. What's going on?" The captain suddenly stood up. "No way. When did the red mist start flowing this way?" From inside the red mist, two special forces members were running toward them in panic. The captain asked, "Commander, what's going on?" The two special forces couldn't explain, only managing to say, "Retreat immediately." Suddenly, something swung out from the red mist, knocking the two special forces members away. Faced with a threat that could kill them in one hit, the commander immediately used the radio to order everyone to retreat. So the captain couldn't escape in time, clawed by a mutated beast's talon grabbing his collar and pulling him back. A chill ran down his face, like he knew he was done for. Turning around, he saw a giant mutated beast dragging him forward, its blood-red eyes sizing up whether this prey was tasty or not. In that moment, the captain only managed to say, "Guess I'm done for." Nghiem Hao watched from above, hearing everyone's panicked screams, "Help me! They're here! Run!" Without hesitation, he charged down to fight the mutated beasts. Yep. He took down a few monsters. Nghiem Hao activated his mutated arms, his eyes blazing red like fire, mumbling some cryptic words. A nearby mutated beast, seeing its kind killed, growled furiously, baring sharp teeth, threateningly. It charged at Nghiem Hao at a terrifying speed. But Nghiem Hao didn't flinch. With a lightning-fast move, he grabbed the monster's head and delivered a powerful punch that sent its head flying. A red energy burst from the corpse, quickly absorbed into his mutated arm. Feeling the new power surge through his body, Nghiem Hao smirked. "Not bad, my strength's increased a lot. If I keep absorbing all these mutated beasts around me, how strong will I get?" He glanced around at the monsters surrounding him. 3, 4, 5, 6, damn, that's a lot. Losing patience to count further, Nghiem Hao focused his inner energy, spreading the power throughout his body. "Don't disappoint me, guys." A destructive beam sliced through the mutated beasts, dropping them before they even understood what hit them. Nghiem Hao turned around, eyes sharp and alert. "So you're here to steal my meal, huh?" That was Tong Ni, the border ops team captain, a beautiful young woman with platinum hair. Seeing the special forces arrive unprepared, Nghiem Hao thought, "I'm cooked this time. Gotta retract this mutated arm fast." Tong Ni ordered urgently, "Don't leave any mutated beast alive, wipe them all out." Immediately, the whole team fired at Nghiem Hao. The swift action caught him off guard, leaving him no choice but to raise both hands in surrender. "Wait, don't shoot. I'm just a low-rank soldier from the patrol team below." Before he finished, gunfire erupted. In the blink of an eye, the mutated beast trying to attack from behind him collapsed, riddled with bullets. Nghiem Hao stood there, stunned and moved for a few seconds. When the special forces announced the target was eliminated, he snapped back to reality and realized they'd only been aiming at the monster behind him. Soft footsteps approached Nghiem Hao. Tong Ni stood before him, rifle in hand, eyes serious. "Where's your weapon?" "Low-rank patrol soldier." The pressing question made Nghiem Hao nervous, unable to come up with an answer. He thought, I'm in trouble, what do I say now? While he stayed silent, a Special Forces member announced full withdrawal from the front line to regroup at the temporary base. The scene shifts to a military tent, where a stern guard tells the people in the truck, "No unauthorized personnel allowed without Senior Officer Tong's permission." Inside, Tong Ni is listing the casualties from the recent incident. Special Zone A suffered 37 casualties, including 2 Special Ops members and 30 Border Patrol team members. The rest are missing. This is the personnel loss report. Nghiem Hao nods in agreement. That's right. So why did you detain me? I'm also a victim in this incident. He's tied to a chair, flanked by 2 serious Special Ops agents. Tong Ni continues the interrogation. Yesterday evening, you left the team without permission for over 2 hours, then returned just as the Red Plague riot broke out. Don't you feel the need to explain? Nghiem Hao feels lucky his mutated hands haven't been exposed yet, but he can't admit he overslept during his shift. Stammering, he says, I just nodded off a bit in the barracks. I informed the captain, so why isn't it in the report? An officer nearby raises his hand to speak. Sir, he's often late, but his captain always covers for him. Don't let him throw my brother under the bus. Nghiem Hao feels exposed about his nap, his eyes bloodshot. This bastard, if he talks crap, I'll castrate him tomorrow. Tong Ni frowns, realizing the Border Patrol team still has unresolved issues. Meanwhile, the mentioned captain sneezes, clearly ticklish. The nearby officer panics, asking, "Captain, are you okay?" "Relax, I'm fine. All tests show his body is perfectly normal, Dr. Chan-an." "Doctor, our captain just needs to tape his mouth shut." Another soldier questions. "That's considered normal?" Back at Nghiem Hao's current quarters, Tong Ni holds his file and continues the interrogation. His records show he only completed basic training 3 months ago. "Even my Special Ops squad lost 2 people in that battle." "It's surprising you survived that disaster," Tong Ni says skeptically. Nghiem Hao immediately retorts, "I'm scared of dying. I used to do track and field, so I'm more agile than others. When I sensed the Red Plague shifting, I ran before the mutated beasts arrived." Tong Ni presses on, "If you're afraid of death, why join the military? Do you have another goal?" This question silences Nghiem Hao. In truth, he's searching for his little sister, Xiao Shui. For the past 6 months, he's been like a lone wolf, avoiding crowds, hunting and absorbing low-level mutated beasts to control his mutation. He's tried everything to find clues about human refuges. You're a soldier who abandoned death, left your mission without permission, and didn't report the outbreak. You know the consequences, right? Tong Ni steps closer. "You planning to shoot me?" Nghiem Hao replies coldly. Tong Ni leans in, whispering, "What exactly are your hands? Why have you been lying all this time? Just tell me your real reason for joining the military." Nghiem Hao keeps a blank face. She's definitely seen through him. Suddenly, a powerful tremor shakes the ground. Tong Ni thinks it's just an earthquake, but Nghiem Hao knows better. This feeling is too familiar. Massive mutated beasts are approaching. He immediately spins and yells, "Run!" Tong Ni suspects he's trying to escape. A spark flashes in her eyes. In a flash, she slams him down. "Dare to run from me? You don't respect me at all?" The ground beneath them starts cracking wide, and people around panic, begging, "Senior officer, please go easy, the ground's breaking." "I'm not being harsh," she replies. Suddenly, the entire ground shatters with a deafening crash. After falling, dust clouds the air, and many are still in shock. Nghiem Hao calmly says, "Have we fallen underground?" Tong Ni stays composed, ordering everyone to turn on their lights and assess the situation. Meanwhile, the captain's brother, still biased against Nghiem Hao, mutters, "What a comet. With him here, nothing good ever happens." "Are we supposed to live underground forever?" Nghiem Hao replies coldly. "Survive to get out first, then cry later. We might not be stuck here for life." As the lights shine, the group sees massive caves piled up ahead. "Oh man, these must be tunnels dug by mutated beasts, right?" someone exclaims. Tong Ni immediately commands, "Stay calm, check remaining weapons, hold formation, no openings allowed." A strange wind suddenly blows, and Nghiem Hao's sharp instincts sense danger, warning, "Wind's coming." The guard immediately said, "If there's wind, that means there's a way out. We should go check it out." After confirming a light breeze blowing through, the guard was so thrilled he didn't notice the 3 bloodshot eyes staring intently at him. Meanwhile, Han couldn't resist provoking Nghiem Hao. "Nghiem Hao, you really have no skills, just running away all the time. You're a true master of that." Just then, a 3-eyed monster suddenly lunged from behind the officer while Han was briefing everyone about the escape route ahead. In the blink of an eye, the beast was taken down by a single bullet. Its blue blood dripped down, almost hitting the most sensitive spot on a man. Tong Ni immediately warned, "Be careful. The armor bug's blood is highly corrosive, don't touch it." And remember, no one acts without my orders, got it? Seeing the corroded ground right in front of him, Han thought to himself, asterisk, thank God, I almost became a eunuch. Asterisk. Tong Ni glanced at Nghiem Hao and said, looks like your instincts for dodging danger are pretty sharp. Once we're out safely, you owe me an explanation. Nghiem Hao silently stared at her, wondering. Asterisk. If she knows my secret but won't say it, what's her motive? Asterisk. Suddenly, a growing roar echoed, signaling a massive threat approaching. Hundreds of three-eyed armor bugs swarmed out of the cave, all with fierce expressions. In an instant, thousands of nearby caves were blocked off by these beasts. Damn, why are there so many armor bugs? We're in deep trouble now. The bad news? The beasts gave no time to rest. They immediately charged, fighting over their prey. Their numbers were overwhelming. Every attempt to hold them back was like throwing salt into the sea. Luckily, they found a cave not yet occupied by the bugs, and quickly carved a bloody path to escape inside. Once inside, Nghiem Hao suddenly felt something was off. Ignoring Tong Ni's warning, don't stop, keep running, he turned back and noticed the beasts seemed to have stopped advancing, though he didn't know why. The team had no choice but to push forward, searching for an exit. After a while, they encountered a boss-level beast, absorbing red mist to boost its power. Its fang-filled mouth opened wide, dark energy gathering inside. Nghiem Hao immediately recognized the danger and warned, everyone, watch out for the energy coming from its mouth. Tong Ni quickly seized the chance, raised her gun, and fired at the beast. However, the monster had finished charging and unleashed a red energy blast. The two energy streams passed side by side without touching. In the end, the boss took Tong Ni's hit, while she barely dodged its attack. Luckily, Nghiem Hao transformed an arm just in time to block the blow, saving her life. Looking at his transformed arm, Tong Ni asked, Nghiem Hao, your arm. He cut her off. Wait until we're safe, then I'll explain everything. Nghiem Hao charged at the boss, ready for a big fight. Seeing his attack only left a small scratch on its head, Tong Ni worried. Asterisk. Even my shot barely hurt it. Asterisk. Asterisk. Can he really take down this monster? Asterisk. She could only cheer from behind. Nghiem Hao, be careful. Encouraged, Nghiem Hao lunged at the boss, quickly realizing his attacks barely caused damage. Its armor was insanely tough, any normal beast would have been crushed. Its massive size and brutal defense made it like a mobile tank. It must have devoured many of its kind to gain such terrifying power and size. The beast counterattacked, throwing a punch at Nghiem Hao but missed. He thought, asterisk. Looks like it's putting all its strength into defense through that armor. Asterisk. Chuckling softly, he sighed. Asterisk. It's just a giant moving punching bag. Asterisk. Then he plunged into a relentless battle with the beast, leaving the group stunned. Asterisk. Am I dreaming? Nghiem Hao, the kid who's always scared to death, and the first to run away. Asterisk. Asterisk is now facing a boss-level monster alone? Who the hell is this guy? Asterisk, Tong Ni quickly explained. He's an experiment created to fight beasts. A secret project by the government coalition. Asterisk, the guy who took 3 months just to pass basic training is an anti-beast experiment? Asterisk, yeah. When he fought back against me, I confirmed his true identity. However, these explanations can only convince inexperienced young guys. The deputy officer standing nearby listened to the chief officer's words with suspicion. Does the United Nations really have test subjects like this? Or is she hiding something? Tong Ni kept using sweet talk to persuade. He had escaped the lab and blended into the patrol team below. The last red mist incident was likely connected to him, which is why I doubted his identity. This is a top national secret. Nothing you hear or see here can be leaked. Understood, the officer accepted. Yes, sir, Chief. Back where Nghiem Hao was fighting the apex-level mutant beast, the monster gathered energy in its mouth again and unleashed an attack. Nghiem Hao dodged easily but forgot his teammates were behind him. After the deafening explosion, Captain Tong Ni's quick reflexes let him dodge in time. However, the officer wasn't so lucky. He was saved by the deputy chief, but lost a leg. The officer, wearing combat boots, was a strong deputy officer. Why would he sacrifice himself for a lowly soldier like me? The deputy chief calmly replied, trading a leg to save a life? That's a fair deal in my book. The officer continued, isn't your main mission to fight mutant beasts? Now you've lost valuable strength because of me. The deputy chief reassured him, hey, I didn't join the army just to kill mutants. I became a soldier to protect. As humanity's shield, I won't abandon anyone. His sincere words moved the officer deeply. After a long fight, Nghiem Hao fell into a weak spot and was thrown dozens of meters away. His energy was nearly depleted, and even maintaining his mutated arm was difficult. Looking at the giant beast before him, he thought, asterisk, is this the power of an apex mutant? Asterisk, hard to tell for sure. In a split second, as the monster swung a powerful blow, A laser shot hit its head, forcing it to recoil in pain. Seeing the lingering laser energy, he realized Tong Ni had acted. He turned to her, holding a rifle, with a strong earth aura still radiating behind her. Nghiem Hao, you can't die here. I still have many questions you need to spill everything. Suddenly, the monster hit by Tong Ni's shot let out a strange laugh. It bared its terrifying fangs, exhaling hot, humid mist. Tong Ni sensed something bad was coming. Sure enough, red mist from all corners of the cave gathered around the apex beast. These caves connected everywhere, letting it easily control the red mist. Then it used the mist to restore its power. Seeing the wound on its head healing, Tong Ni grew worried at this rate. It would soon return to peak form. The last red mist outbreak might have been caused by it. Without hesitation, she rushed straight to Nghiem Hao's side. Nghiem Hao, we can't take it down right now. It's recovering. We should retreat. But Nghiem Hao stubbornly refused to give up. Get up and use your mutated arm power again. No way. It dies here today. His eyes blazing red, full of killing intent. Its mist summoning also boosts my strength. Right now, it's busy absorbing energy and can't move. This is our best chance to strike. Tong Ni looked at him seriously, as if to say, if we fail, you might die here. He immediately took a defensive stance, red energy aura flowing through his body. I've passed through the demon gate countless times. One more time won't be a problem. Tong Ni gave in. Faced with his determination, she agreed to the plan. Fine, but this is our one shot. She knelt down, raised her rifle, crackling with powerful lightning energy that concentrated at the barrel's tip. I'll unleash all my power to break the armor on its head. You take this chance to destroy its brain directly. She looked through the scope, aiming at the monster's head, ready for the strongest shot. This is the only way to beat it. Then she pulled the trigger. At that moment, Nghiem Hao lunged forward, following the laser shot fired by Tong Ni. He jumped onto the monster's head. The laser had hit the crown. Good, the armor cracked. He seized the moment, wasting no time, repeatedly stabbing his mutated arm straight into its head. He unleashed 7,749 punches targeting the monster's head, which had lost its armor layer, causing the blue fluid on its head to gush out wildly, splattering everywhere. The monster writhed in pain as its head armor gradually dissolved. Song Ni stood behind, witnessing it all, shocked by how brutally he was tormenting the beast. Did we actually pull it off? An explosion roared as the blue fluid sprayed out. Nghiem Hao was blasted backward. Having used all his power, his mutated arm vanished along with it. He crashed straight to the ground. Song Ni rushed over, worried. You okay? Nghiem Hao was unconscious, lying motionless with arms spread after expending all his energy and getting caught in the blast. Song Ni noticed the photo he always carried, now torn. Holding it, she wondered, what's this photo about? Distracted by the photo, she didn't notice a chi core resting in his hand. It slowly sank into his palm, releasing a gentle red mist. The core's intrusion triggered a fierce reaction in his body, veins bulging as if resisting. Scene change. He woke up in a boundless space. Next to him floated a genetic fragment pulsating with energy. Scanning around, all he saw was red mist and strange gene fragments. Asterisk, am I dead? Asterisk. A fragment blinked with a pink glow. He wondered, what's this gene fragment flashing at me? Suddenly, he realized a chi core was merging into his body, right in front of his chest. Looking at it, he recalled, isn't this the same thing inside the Ban Nai level apex beast? It looked like some kind of energy crystallization. It was in his hand moments ago. How did it end up in his chest? The crystal emitted a strange energy, absorbing all the surrounding red mist into itself. What? It's actually absorbing the red mist. Not only that, it can store the mist. Even if I absorb more red mist to power up my mutation, I won't lose control anymore. One corner of the chi core cracked, revealing a worrying truth. Damn, this crystal's energy storage is almost depleted. His eyes scanned the red mist continuously flooding into the core. A thought struck him. If this keeps up, it's dangerous, it might explode. Suddenly, he remembered something important and raised both hands to his chest. Except for that apex beast's essence, which can consume a huge amount of red mist, if I can absorb it, I can also release it. Back to the present. In the hospital's special care room, he lay on the bed, red mist gently emanating from his body. He woke up, eyes blazing like fire, instantly sitting up. He focused all the energy absorbed through the chi core into his arm. A thought flashed. Asterisk, focus, fail, and I'm dead for sure. Asterisk. Just then, the hospital room door opened. Song Ni entered to check on him. Seeing him ready to unleash a massive energy blast at her, she shuddered. Flashback a few minutes earlier. At the hospital, a guard stood at attention greeting Song Ni. Captain Song, how's the deputy officer's leg? Song Ni stood outside the deputy's exam room, replying, he's a soldier. He's already awakened. You don't need to blame yourself so much. She entered the room where the deputy held documents about Nghiem Hao. He looked at Song Ni, asking, Captain Song, what's Nghiem Hao's status? Why haven't I heard of any test subjects like him before? Song Ni held up the info board, answering, Nghiem Hao's status is top secret. Just focus on healing, don't worry too much. After speaking, she turned to leave. I've requested headquarters transfer you to logistics. From now on, rest well. As she prepared to leave, the deputy spoke up. I'll honestly report this to your father, Elder Yao, Captain Song Lim. I trust he'll make his own judgment. Song Ni snapped, slapping him hard. Deputy, do you even remember who your superior is? From now on, your communication rights are revoked. Stay put, no leaving. After handling it, Song Ni and the guard headed to Nghiem Hao's hospital room. Outside room 314, the guard reported, We've arrived. Song Ni worried. Da Len, you stand guard outside. No one enters without my order. The guard nodded solemnly. She opened the door and saw a terrifying sight. Nghiem Hao focusing energy, about to blast her. Song Ni asked, What are you trying to do? He didn't explain, just shouted. Get out of the way! A burst of energy shot out, triggering a massive explosion. Nghiem Hao was slammed back by the recoil, while Tong Nir quickly dropped down to dodge. The energy orb shattered the door, making the guard panic and fall to the ground. It then pierced through the wall, causing a cataclysmic blast with a blazing red mist. Not stopping there, the energy orb flew out of the hospital, destroying abandoned buildings across the street one after another. The deputy commander, seeing this, paused thoughtfully. The building opposite is completely breached. What's wrong, Nghiem Hao? Captain Tong Nir, how long can you keep this secret? The guard still clutching his head muttered. Why does all the bad luck fall on me? This is terrifying. I'm not ready to die first. Tong Nir stared at the holes in awe. Is this the technique from that overlord-level Rap Chung beast last time? How can Nghiem Hao control the beast's power without mutating his arm? She turned to him. Nghiem Hao, looks like you owe me a lot of explanations, huh? On the hospital rooftop, Tong Nir and Nghiem Hao faced each other, their conversation growing deeper. After hearing his explanation, she crossed her arms, eyes full of curiosity. So you're saying you can not only absorb the beast's core but also copy their abilities through it, right? She asked, her tone serious yet intrigued. Nghiem Hao nodded, raising his hands to illustrate. Not just that, I can also absorb the red mist and store it. That core seems to have self-healing abilities too. Seeing his honesty, Tong Nir smiled softly, stroking her chin. Your powers are really diverse. Nghiem Hao continued, voice lowering. I've gained their strength and abilities, but there's a risk of slowly turning into a beast and completely transforming. He looked straight into Tong Nir's eyes, filled with worry. At this rate, am I even still human? Captain Tong, in your eyes, am I a man or a beast? Without hesitation, she answered honestly. You're you, a one-of-a-kind existence. Whether you're human or monster depends on how you use this power. She stepped closer, voice gentle but firm. But your power is both a curse and a weapon. Standing before Nghiem Hao, she held up 2 fingers. Now you have 2 choices. 1. Join Tieu Tuyet and become a reserve soldier in my squad, or be seen as a potential threat, treated like a beast, and purged. Nghiem Hao blinked, surprised. Purged? Tong Nir nodded seriously. Do you think anyone in this city can stand against you with your current power? I can't do anything to you now, but you're not strong enough to resist Su yet. Join my team. It won't be a disadvantage. I'll support you as much as I can. Seeing Tong Nir's enthusiasm, Nghiem Hao grew suspicious. He crossed his arms, stroking his chin. A dangerous stranger I just met, whose power could go out of control any time. Are you really willing to take in a pain like me? Must have cost you a lot. You're going all out just to recruit rookies. There's gotta be another reason, right? Tong Nir looked at him, eyes determined. You're smart. For some reason, I really need you, but you have to believe we're not enemies. She held up a photo before Nghiem Hao. Maybe you can see this as a deal. Seeing the photo, Nghiem Hao shuddered, hand reaching into his jacket. What? Why do you have my photo? Tong Nir smiled confidently. Don't underestimate me. If I want to investigate your past, it's as easy as flipping my hand. If you join Tieu Tuyet, I'll use the highest level intel network to help you track down the girl in this photo. Faced with Tong Nir's offer, Nghiem Hao felt it was a good choice. Searching blindly alone has limits. Like she said, with higher status and connections, things go smoother. He decided to agree, reaching for the photo, sealing the deal. Then he chuckled awkwardly, scratching his head. But Captain, if you need me that badly, a raise wouldn't hurt, right? After all, I've spent all my previous salary looking for my sister. Seeing her plan succeed, Tong Nir hid a smile but didn't forget to put this rookie in line. Private Nghiem Hao, as Tieu Tuyet's captain, I approve your enlistment as a reserve soldier with the highest salary. Now go complete your paperwork immediately. Nghiem Hao recalled the holes he'd made in the building, immediately planning to bail. He ran to the door, saluted seriously. Captain Tong's order, I'll head to the paperwork right away, but Tong Nier called him back. Oh right. I've already covered the damage compensation you caused. I'm not demanding it now, but it'll be deducted from your salary later. Hearing he was about to lose money, Nghiem Hao sadly scratched his head and walked away. Guess he still has to pay compensation. Tong Nier watched his back, her mind drifting back to her uncle. Uncle, I'll definitely find a way to save you. I feel like the key to turning that mutated beast back into a human is on that guy. In Sichthark City, a military vehicle approached the patrol team's barracks. Nghiem Hao and the guard got off, ready to register. Nghiem Hao asked curiously, "You want to join the special forces too?" Only now did he get a good look at the guard's face. Han confidently pointed to his chest, proudly saying, "Captain Tong and the deputy both rate me highly. Even if I'm in logistics, Nghiem Hao, we can back each other up down the line." Han's friendly attitude reminded Nghiem Hao of the time they worked together in the guard squad, but honestly, Nghiem Hao didn't care much about the guys Han considered his dependents. He wondered, what's this soldier's name again? Probably never paid attention before, so he couldn't remember. The guard waved behind Nghiem Hao and said, "That's Captain Ko. He's fine." Nghiem Hao turned and saw a city defense squad surrounding Captain Ko. The blonde man was still covered in wounds, limbs all in casts. After the red mist outbreak, Han had to limp around with a cane. Facing him was an old local and enemy, Tieu Tuyet, now captain of Sichthark City Defense. "You punk Ko, you split from me over that woman," Tieu Tuyet sneered, pushing Captain Ko against the wall. "You've been like a lost dog since. You're here asking our city defense for compensation for your squad?" Seeing this, the lower-ranked guard couldn't hold back and charged at the city defense. But Han was weak, pinned down by two men, relying only on his own strength. Losing the fight, he yelled, "You bastards, let go of our Captain Ko." Tieu Tuyet spat beside him, full of contempt. "Kneel and lick the mud off my boots, or..." Han gritted his teeth, pointing at the guard, "I'll break this kid's arm and make you pay." Faced with this dilemma, Captain Ko was furious, but had no choice but to accept and prepare to kneel, as Tieu Tuyet ordered. Just then, Nghiem Hao stepped forward, stopped him, lifted Han, and said, "No need to kneel." Captain Ko looked up in shock, seeing the lazy soldier he once covered for now standing up to protect him against overwhelming enemies. Han was moved, looking at Nghiem Hao. Nghiem Hao smiled, "You helped me a lot before, now let me return the favor." Then he turned to the city defense squad and shouted, "I'm Nghiem Hao, and if anyone dares lay a finger on Captain Ko, I'll crush their mist and feed it to the dogs." The squad was furious, faces darkening at a young guy threatening them like that. They charged, determined to teach Nghiem Hao a lesson. "You want to die that bad?" they yelled. Nghiem Hao didn't flinch. He stepped forward, kicked one down, then punched another hard. In seconds, 4 city defense members were down, each with a single hit. Everyone around was stunned by his power. One city defense member said, "Our captain is an E-rank soldier. Mess with us and you're dead." Tieu Tuyet stared at his 4 fallen men, horrified and speechless. How is this kid so strong? 4 down in 4 seconds. 1 per second? He's even stronger than me. Can't handle hand-to-hand? Tieu Tuyet pulled his gun, aiming at Nghiem Hao. "These patrol idiots dare resist law enforcement? I'll shoot you first and report later." Nghiem Hao dodged the bullets smoothly, smirking. "Too slow, you even know how to shoot?" He lunged, grabbed Tieu Tuyet's gun, and said, "Your trigger speed is garbage." Then with bare hands, he crushed the gun, leaving Tieu Tuyet wide-eyed in shock. Nghiem Hao dropped the shattered gun pieces, smoke rising from his powerful grip only a fraction of Tong Nier's strength. Humiliated in front of the crowd and his men, his pride was shattered. He drew back and charged at Nghiem Hao. But Nghiem Hao didn't bother dodging the weak, slow attack. He stood firm, grabbed his arm with one hand, choked him, and lifted him off the ground. That was the guy who wanted Captain Ko to kneel and lick his boots. Only now did Tieu Tuyet realize he was nothing compared to Nghiem Hao's power. All he could do was rely on the captain's reputation to intimidate. "You, what are you planning? I'm warning you, don't do anything reckless." But before he could finish, Nghiem Hao's expression turned icy cold. Ignoring his words, he slammed his head hard onto the ground. The impact shattered the earth into pieces. Tieu Tuyet passed out, foaming at the mouth, lying flat on the ground. After that, the remaining onlookers panicked and fled immediately. He even dodged bullets and crushed something with his bare hands into the ground. Nghiem Hao didn't even bother with the guard's lackeys, flicking his hand as if brushing off dirt. He looked at his arm, where a flash of red energy appeared, realizing his physique, enhanced by the mutant beast's core, had far exceeded initial expectations. Nghiem Hao approached the crossbow and picked it up, Behind him, the guards hurriedly carried Truong Thui away. He's a monster. Run! The black-clad guard who had confidently stood before Nghiem Hao now changed his tone, patting his shoulder. Brother Nghiem, you were a total war god just now. Nghiem Hao was a bit surprised by the sudden change. Oh, you're okay? The guard quickly replied. Yeah, my body takes hits pretty well. Nghiem Hao stepped over to Captain Ko and handed back the crossbow. Captain Ko, here you go. He said. Nghiem Hao, thanks. The captain smiled. Thanks? You've always helped me before. Now I'm standing up to protect you. Isn't that obvious? Captain Ko said worriedly, as if the city defense team caused trouble for him. Before he could finish, the nearby guard quickly said, Captain, don't worry. Nghiem Hao and I are part of the special ops team now. The city defense won't dare mess with us. At the temporary base of the Sichak City Special Ops, Nghiem Hao completed the paperwork and returned. He went to Song Ni to report. Song Ni held his assessment notice, saying, I've already sent your application to headquarters. She handed Nghiem Hao the approved assessment form. Headquarters approved your application. Nghiem Hao couldn't help but exclaim, Oh, that's fast. He happily took the notice. So that means I'm officially a member of the Special Ops now, right? Song Ni immediately shot him down. No, don't celebrate yet. Nghiem Hao, the real challenge starts now. She looked at him and continued. You have to head straight to headquarters in Ho Than and take part in the selection evaluation for the Blood Warrior Combat Unit of Special Ops. But with your skills, I'm sure you'll breeze through. Nghiem Hao smiled confidently, cracking his knuckles. Got it. Wait for me to break the record. In Ho Than City, military vehicles accompanied by a cargo truck were entering the city. Inside the vehicle, Song Ni held the notice, briefly introducing the rookies. This is Ho Than, the capital of Blood Warrior and the headquarters of Blood Warrior. Nghiem Hao sat in the back, pointing at a guard who was forced to admire the scenery, asking, I heard official Blood Warrior members are at least rank D fighters. How is this fighter's rank evaluated? Someone this week can even join the Blood Warrior assessment? The black guard laughed, scratching his head. Haha. That's because my strength is taking hits pretty well. Song Ni continued explaining in detail. He's in logistics, not combat, so he doesn't have to do fighting challenges. Hearing that, the other immediately regained confidence, patted his shoulder, and laughed loudly. The logistics team will back you up on the battlefield. You'll be needing me a lot. Haha, lucky we have time to hang out. Let's exchange info a bit. People like me who can activate powers are called warriors. Their combat power is ranked from highest to lowest in 6 levels, S, A, B, C, D, E. The special ops have their own evaluation system based on each person's physical strength and endurance. Mutant beasts are ranked from weakest to strongest as Redtail, Bonehound, Overlord, Beastlord, and Tyrant. Comparing fighter ranks to mutant beasts, a rank E fighter can defeat a Redtail mutant. Similarly, rank D fighters have faced Bonehounds, rank B and C fighters are on par with Overlords. Rank A fighters have fought Beastlords, and rank S fighters can take on Tyrants. Also, the compatibility with the core greatly affects the rank. At this point, Nghiem Hao seriously asked, What do you mean by core compatibility? Song Ni explained. Exactly. In this apocalypse world, only mutant beasts affected by the red mist have powers. We human warriors rely on core weapons compatible with the mutant beast's core. To use powers, physique, talent, and even luck affect compatibility. The higher the compatibility, the better quality and quantity of powers activated. If you can't sync, you can only reach rank E. Then, Song Ni's military convoy was stopped by an officer. Sorry, this road is currently blocked. Please take another route. A driver in front questioned, You dare block the special response team? Soldiers nearby explained, Sorry, we're just on duty. There's no other way. Seeing the distinctive Lukdang emblem on the vehicle passing through the checkpoint, Song Ni had a bad feeling. Why would a big corp like Lukdang show up at the Blood Warrior team's selection? Something's off. An hour later, at the Blood Warrior recruitment test site, judges stood before the candidates and announced, Blood Warrior is humanity's strongest rear guard and the sharpest blade of the special response team. The chief judge, senior warrior, Lam Dung Tin, stood with arms crossed and declared seriously, I don't care about your background. If you're here, you follow the rules. No backdoor favors, not even for the president's nephew. If you don't have real skill, don't dream of staying in my Blood Warrior team. Then he raised his hand and announced the start of the test. First up, physical fitness test. Begin. The first test was carrying a 50 kilograms weight and sprinting 100 meters. In this, Nghiem Hao blew past everyone, setting a record of 5.1 seconds. Next was the electronic strength test, measuring arm power. While a normal person could lift a 5 kilograms dumbbell with one hand, Nghiem Hao casually lifted 500 kilograms like it was a pebble, shocking everyone around. He lifted 500 kilograms with one hand. In the punch strength test, he didn't go all out to avoid breaking the machine, but a moderate punch caused sparks and smoke from the sensor. A judge gasped. The punch meter is broken, can't measure. 10 minutes later, Nghiem Hao stood before the chief judge, arms behind his back, reporting, report. All tests completed. Lam Dong-tin, holding the score sheet, was slightly surprised. Completed with 198 points. People around erupted. 198 points? The highest rookie record before was only 180. Is he cheating? Definitely. A skeptic stepped forward. Judge Lam, the highest rookie score on entry was 140, but his score blows that out of the water. I don't buy it. That's Truong Tan, younger brother of the Sich-Thach City Defense Captain and Truong Thui's brother. Lam Dong-tin glared at him. I supervised personally, and there's security footage. You suspect I gave him a backdoor pass? Truong Tan grinned, eyes sharp as he stared at Nghiem Hao. No way, just curious, he said, stepping behind him. You're Nghiem Hao, right? From Sich-Thach patrol team. Nghiem Hao, puzzled by this dangerous stranger, asked, What's up? Truong Tan sneered, a villain about to get served. Nothing much, just exchanging words since we're on the same team. He suppressed his anger, recalling the humiliation his brother suffered. Little two, just wait. I'll pay you back tenfold. Nghiem Hao grew more suspicious, eyes tracking the stranger's retreating back. He's on the same team? Why didn't I know about him? Lam Dong-tin explained to the group opposite. His name's Truong Tan, a young master of Sich-Thach City Defense. You two know each other? No, came the reply, but inside he pieced it together. Sich-Thach City Defense, so that's it. He wants revenge for Truong Thui, who I beat before. Those guys in the city defense are rotten to the core. Lam Dong-tin continued announcing the test results. Physical fitness results. Rank 30, Truong Tam 89 points. Rank 29, Truong Tan 123 points. Rank 2, Kim Hoan 135 points. And first place, Nghiem Hao 198 points. Behind Nghiem Hao, a beautiful blonde girl stared intently at his strong back like a fan seeing their idol. I came just for fun, but this rookie is fire. Interesting. I need to study him closely. That was Kim Hoan, who ranked second in the fitness test, and is a senior researcher in technical intelligence. Lam Dong-tin continued, the top 15 will stay. Next test, compatibility with the test subject. In Truong Tan's single dorm room, he chatted on a tablet. I should have taken first place. From behind the Luke Dang Mark tablet, a voice echoed. If your brother wasn't Luke Dang's lapdog, would you even qualify for this test? Truong Tan frowned. Nghiem Dang angrily said, Who would have thought two more monsters would show up? On the screen, two men sat cross-legged, examining the pills. You only get one shot, handle it well. After this talk ends, Han clenched his fists, his face darkening. For my brother, I have to get into the Blood Warriors. In the core testing room, 15 candidates who passed round 1 stood at attention, waiting their turn. Lam Dong-tin, holding the wrist device, announced, This test is simple. Just wear this wristband and place the core on your skin. We'll check your compatibility with the core. Below 40% means immediate disqualification. If anyone's unclear, I'll briefly explain what a core is. Images of various cores appeared beside Lam Dong-tin. He pointed to the beasts on the level chart, explaining only rare beasts produce cores. The stronger the beast, the higher quality the core. By embedding the core into beast armor, warriors can use beast-like abilities. Each person's compatibility varies, awakening innate talents with 3 main attributes: element, power, and control support. This wrist armor is the lowest tier, only testing compatibility. No special abilities granted. After joining the Blood Warriors unit, you'll get better cores and gear. With that, Lam Dong-tin declared the core compatibility test started. The first candidate stepped up. The screen showed grade D, 39% compatibility, just 1% short. Han collapsed, heartbroken. I ranked 5th in stamina, but this test is tougher. Han stepped forward, took a deep breath, put on the wrist armor. The second candidate went up. Grade D, 56% compatibility. Han clapped joyfully. I passed. I can join the Blood Warriors. Next was Truong Tan. Lam Dong-tin sat down, coldly said, Truong Tan, your turn. Han's eyes were bloodshot, his face aged as if on stimulants. He stepped forward, inhaled sharply, put on the wrist armor, slammed the core onto it fiercely. Gritting his teeth, he threatened, Listen up, old man. The board flashed grade D with 60% compatibility. The crowd gasped. The previous strongest only hit 56%. So this guy's the strongest this round. Truong Tan smirked, thinking, Asterisk trash squad. I'm the real strongest here. Asterisk. Han stepped down amid whispers. Din Bin confirmed Trong Tan as the strongest this time. From behind, Kim Hoang approached, eyes locked on Nghiem Hao. You're from Redstone City? Why haven't I heard of someone as strong as you before? I know everything in the tech intel scene. Yet you slipped past me, you're no joke. The abnormal spike in red mist concentration seemed to flicker defiantly. Deal? But I have conditions. Nghiem Hao quickly avoided eye contact, sweat dripping down his forehead. Han tried to dodge. What are you talking about? I don't get it. Kim Hoang crossed her arms, smirking. Fine if you don't admit it, but I'm very interested in you. Nghiem Hao realized he could use her. Han turned. Young miss, can I ask you to gather intel on someone? Kim Hong flicked her finger challengingly. Sure. But I have conditions. She pointed to the core compatibility machine. If your score beats mine, I'll support you unconditionally, no matter what. Lam Dung Tin spoke again. Next, Kim Hong. She hurried up, waving. Come on, come on. Standing before the machine, Kim Hoang crossed her arms, confidently declared, Watch closely. I'm about to break Truong Tan's record. Nghiem Hao below the stage was curious. Is she really that strong to be this confident? Trong Tan kept his smug look. Pfft, all show. Kim Hoang put on the armor, spun the core a few times, then slotted it in with a superhero transformation flare, her confident smile blooming. Watch this. The screen showed Grade D, 78% compatibility. The crowd erupted. Grade D with 78%? Never happened before. Must be a glitch. Kim Hoang gave a thumbs up, smiling bright like a K-pop star. Hee hee. She stepped down, fingers forming a V in front of Truong Tan, teasing. See? I told you I'd break your record. Truong Tan clenched his fists, eyes burning with hatred, thinking, asterisk. Besides Nghiem Hao, I won't let this idiot slide either. Asterisk. Lam Dung Tin announced, last candidate, Nghiem Hao. Nghiem Hao stepped up, thinking, asterisk, she's really strong, maybe she's not lying. She knows a lot. Asterisk Kim Hong, after glaring at Trong Tan, turned to Nghiem Hao with a challenging look. So, what's up? Feeling any pressure? Nghiem Hao stepped forward, one hand raised, the other pointing to the sky, full of confidence. Watch closely. Holding the core seed in his hand, Han thought to himself, to get a lead on Little Snow, I have to win this round. Han placed the core seed into the gauntlet, and the system reacted immediately. The announcement sounded again, but this time with something unusual, a compatibility check that left the crowd wide-eyed. For the first time, a C rank appeared on the test. Then the system suddenly repeated. Error detected. Error detected. The announcement stunned everyone, all eyes glued to the screen. This was the first time they'd seen the system glitch. What's up with the compatibility? What's going on? The announcement kept coming, but this time it was strange checking the core seed's compatibility. No, there was no compatibility part at all. Nghiem Hao stood frozen, gritting his teeth. Huh? Truong Tan sneered, pointing at him. Haha, you trash, acting all high and mighty. You're making me laugh to death. Even the core seed won't accept you. Nghiem Hao immediately frowned, cold eyes shooting back, like he'd already picked his next target to deal with. Suddenly, he felt something weird on the gauntlet. Looking down, he saw the core seed slowly turning into red bone before being absorbed into his arm. This isn't good. Am I forcing the core seed to absorb? He tried to stay calm, fearing his secret would be exposed. Before he could react, Nghiem Hoan quickly rushed to the control panel. Compatibility with the core seed? This had never happened before. Even the lowest rank should have some compatibility. She was caught in the mindset of a mad scientist, laughing while furiously typing on the control panel. Her hand had disappeared without anyone noticing. Dung Tin asked seriously, "Where's the core seed on your hand?" Truong Tan suddenly realized something, a sly smile spreading across his face. "Hey, where's that bastard's core seed?" Han pointed at Nghiem Hao and shouted, "Boss, the boss is wrong." Nghiem Hao had secretly stolen the core seed. The one on his hand had vanished. Hearing that, Lam Dung Tin was shocked and immediately ordered, "Nghiem Hao, raise your hand and show me your gauntlet and core seed right now." He raised his hand, but the core seed on the gauntlet had disappeared without a trace. Dung Tin asked sternly, "Where's the core seed on your hand?" "Hand it over immediately." The tense situation was about to explode, and Nghiem Hao didn't know what to do, just standing there dumbfounded, stammering, "I don't know why it disappeared." He sighed. A thought flashing through his mind, he had to come up with an explanation fast or he'd end up as a test subject. A quick plan formed, and he decided to take a risk. Just gotta fake it, pretend the transformation is a skill, and see if the core seed activates. Thinking that, a red mist spread from Nghiem Hao's hand, his arms slowly morphing into a mutated form in front of everyone. Trong Tan was shocked. What the hell is happening? Lam Dung Tin gripped his weapon tightly. Nghiem Hao warned. Everyone, stay alert. Back off now. Contrary to everyone's caution, Nghiem Hao was super excited. Her eyes sparkled, cheeks flushed, hands cupping her face. Tin asked curiously, "You're not losing it, right?" Hearing the word transformation, Trong Tan asked curiously. "Transformation? Has this guy been contaminated by the red mist?" Dung Tin stayed ready to attack, everyone stepping back, watching his every move. "We can only deal with him here." Nghiem Hao raised her hand, calling out loudly. "Hey, Nghiem Hao, can you hear me?" He replied calmly. "What's up?" Dung Tin asked curiously. "You're not losing your mind, right?" Nghiem Hao stayed composed, slowly reversing the mutation on his arm. "Seems like this is the core seed's ability. It fused with me and transformed like this." Nghiem Hao happily stepped forward, hugging his arm tightly. "You didn't lose consciousness. This is a transformation skill. Oh man, this is the first time it's been discovered." Dung Tin breathed a sigh of relief, sheathing his weapon. "You're lucky to keep your mind after transforming. This has to be a rare superpower." Nghiem Hao eyed Nghiem Hao suspiciously. "Who exactly are you, and how do you know so much?" Nghiem Hao still held his arm tightly, as if afraid this secret would slip out. She let go, winked, and smiled charmingly to catch his attention. "Like I said, I know everything." Dung Tin stepped forward, gently patting Nghiem Hao's head, then revealed, "She's Nghiem Hao, a top researcher in this blood test batch, and a senior scientist at the Technical Intelligence Bureau. Wow, she's young Miss Kim An-thon, in charge of the entire research and development department." Nghiem Hao pouted, fists clenched, face flushed. "Boss Lam, you just blew my mysterious beauty image." Dung Tin chuckled softly. "All right, that's enough excitement for now." Nghiem Hao was ordered to hand over the core, but he could only awkwardly scratch his head and reply, "Master Lin, I can't hand it over. It's already merged with my body." He pointed to his wrist armor and added, "It's been inside me all along, refusing to come out." Trong Tan, standing behind, witnessed the showdown between Nghiem Hao and Dung Tin, muttering to himself, "Has the core really fused with him?" Amid the crowd buzzing about this strange situation, Trong Tan hid his scheming face with one hand. "I need to report this to Luke Dang's people immediately. This guy will definitely be a perfect test subject." Sometime later, Nghiem Hao was taken to the radiation room for a body scan. The researchers diligently analyzed his stats. One of them exclaimed, "I've never seen anything like this. How can a core survive inside a human body?" Another researcher agreed, and it seems like it's fully integrated into his body. "Hey, you don't think it can be removed, right?" He turned to Kim Kyuk. "What's your take on this?" Kim Hoan, eager to uncover the secret within Nghiem Hao's body, listened intently. Kim Kyuk, the Mulberry King, eyes filled with curiosity. "This is definitely worth studying. There must be many secrets hidden inside him. That man is Kim An-thon, Deputy Director of the Technical Intelligence Bureau and also Kim An's father." Dung Tin and a well-dressed man entered. "Kim Kuch, what's the situation? Anything special about this kid's body?" Kim An-thon teased. "What's up? Does Tieu Tuyet still stick to that tough rule? No acceptance under 40%. Tong Liam, Special Forces Captain, and also Tong Ni's father, stepped forward. "Cut the crap. Bold Kim, just spit it out. What's going on?" Kim An-thon looked at the datasheet. "This testing device was co-developed by me and Luke Dang. I know better than anyone, this isn't a percentage." Kim An couldn't hold back, grabbing her dad's hand. "Dad, hurry up. I'm getting antsy. What exactly is special about his body?" Kim An-thon laughed like a mad scientist. "His body exceeds the machine's testing limits. His compatibility surpasses the theoretical max I set by 100%. Hearing this, Tong Lim grew serious, as if receiving critical news about the country's future. He turned down, "Dung Tin, Exotic Beast Network." Dung Tin immediately responded, "Yes." Inside the scanning machine, Nghiem Hao felt the core in his body shift from black to red. He smiled with satisfaction. "Could it be because I absorbed that small core? Previously, I absorbed the core of a level 3 boss beast, stole its power, and activated the core within me. This time, even though I didn't gain any power from the lower level core, it was enhanced. Meaning, the stronger the beast, the stronger I become after absorption. As long as I keep absorbing beast cores, I can keep evolving endlessly." At Tieu Tuyet headquarters, Tong Ni questioned Tong Liam. "Nghiem Hao is the kid you brought in to join your team. Is there a problem?" Tong Liam coldly replied, "Understood, Tong Ni. Pay attention to your status and conduct. Also, haven't you been paying too much attention to that weak rookie?" Tong Ni tried to explain. "Dad, I promised to get him on my team already. No one can make you a soldier who breaks promises." Tong Liam folded his arms behind his back, ready to leave. A soldier's loyalty is to the country, not to individuals. Nghiem Hao has joined Dung Tin's team, And that's final. He turned back, cold eyes. As the squad leader of Tieu Tuyet, are you trying to steal him from Han? Get back to your post immediately, that's an order. Tong Ni had no choice but to reply, yes sir. But inwardly, she thought she'd have to find another plan. At the Tieu Tuyet barracks lounge, Nghiem Hao shouted, Nghiem Hao, hot news. She ran over smiling. A new monster lair has been discovered between Ho City and Red Rock City. Tieu Tuyet rookies will be sent to explore. I got Master Lam's approval to form our own team, which might surprise you a bit. Team leader Dung Tin also ordered them. The mission is to scout and assess threat levels. Stay alert. Even though it's a low-level monster lair, it can still mutate due to the fog. Nghiem Hao confidently said, data gathering is my specialty. Don't worry, I've got your back. Fragile as she seems, she's a rank D, just below his C. The convoy moved quickly, while Nghiem Hao explained the threat levels of monster lairs are divided into 4. Low, medium, high, and extreme. There are also many types. The low-level lair we're heading to is a nest type, characterized by a simple structure, like a complex tunnel system inside. The most detailed part is, she leaned close, warning him that a swarm of wasps had a large number of workers and a few soldiers while he was fighting off fatigue. Why would a wasp nest need 3 vehicles? Nghiem Hao laughed heartily with the new mat. These aren't just ordinary little wasps. They arrived, and looking up at the sky, he had to admit the swarm was huge. The assistant immediately ordered everyone to hold tight as he steered the truck, a barrage of arrows defending against their attack. Nghiem Hao panicked, shouting, it's iron wasps. Our armored vehicle won't hold. Nghiem Hao took on the task of dealing with them, perfect timing to test his new skill. He used a mutation to shield the truck's door, then dashed out with both hands mutated. His technique was lightning fast and flawless. The driver panicked. Does he really have that much power? Nghiem Hao explained. At first, we thought he could only transform himself, but now he can coat the whole vehicle with it. That's so OP. She excitedly added, that means he can turn anything into a weapon. Seriously, fire. I have to record his combat data and study it carefully. While fighting, suddenly a blue light shot at him, piercing through his shield. Too dangerous, he needed to find where it came from. Nghiem Hao shouted, enemy hiding and attacking. Everyone, find cover now. They quickly took cover behind a rock, while a guy in protective gear rushed forward to burn the wasp swarm. But in a flash, a blue bullet hit the gas tank he was carrying. With a loud boom, the tank burst into flames. Nghiem Hao yelled, Nghiem Hao, where are those blue spikes coming from? She checked the data and replied, that's the queen of the Lirpquian rank. Its tail has poison that can pierce armor up to vehicle level. Wait, there's a Lirpquian rank here? Wrong intel, this isn't a level 10 nest at all. He quickly made a plan. I'll fix the queen, help me hold off the swarm. Nghiem Hao immediately unleashed wind power, a violent gust blasting straight ahead. In an instant, she pushed the swarm back, clearing the way for Nghiem Hao to charge. The queen was even bigger, her red eyes like she wanted to tear him apart. Nghiem Hao shaped the truck door into a long form, then bent it into a steel spear, truly sick. He stomped back, the ground cracking, and threw the spear with all his might. Each strike pierced the queen's body, but she didn't even flinch. Why is she so broken strong? Nghiem Hao rushed over. Nghiem Hao, don't let her escape. She's about to evolve into the Overlord. But he was already drained, collapsing to the ground. He thought to himself, if only he'd saved some red blood mist to refill, his energy would have lasted longer. Should have kept some to kill the queen. The little sis came over, supporting him as they admired the amusement park. You're washing up like you're about to break? Need me to give you CPR? Nghiem Hao sat up, shouting, I'm not scared of kids like you. Who's the kid with all the power and resources? You're done for. She handed him a chocolate bar, but he wasn't hungry, so she just ate it herself. They decided to report this to their superiors to call for backup. Then, the red blood mist concentration in the swarm was set to be greedily absorbed, while the injured queen was their chance to make a big play. Back at headquarters, a report came in, and Captain Dur panicked. The danger level of the swarm has upgraded? Plus Nghiem Hao and Kim An are already inside? The old man spoke up. Stay calm. Though Nghiem and Kim An can be a bit reckless, they're careful. She won't risk it without a sure plan. He ordered immediate deployment of the nearest elite soldiers for rescue. Primary goal, ensure Kim An and Nghiem Hao's safety. Secondary goal, destroy the swarm of monsters. Meanwhile, Dungtree's team had just been discharged and headed there. Tongnir's father said, I'll send your little brother with her. Is that okay? Turns out he arranged the escort to protect his daughter, gruff outside but a dad with peaceful dreams inside. Back inside the nest, 2 elite soldiers in anti-fog combat gear advanced. Only they had such gear as elite soldiers. Kim An reported energy levels hadn't changed much. But just now when the queen evolved into an overlord, the difficulty of conquering the monster nest would spike drastically. Sensing something, he called for a halt. The queen burst out of the cave to defend the nest, her body even bigger than before. They realized she had successfully ranked up to Overlord, becoming the iron-armored queen. It's over, Elder On. Suddenly, countless armored wasps charged, forcing them to retreat. He thought, this clearly shouldn't support her rapid evolution, yet the worker wasps were enhanced too. Holding the machine gun, she screamed, the red blood mist concentration has exceeded the warning level. Why isn't this damn machine alerting us? She collapsed helplessly to the ground. It turned out their entire protective gear had been tampered with, weakening the blood aura shield. There's a traitor in the bloodline. Instantly, countless devices rushed in, forcing them to retreat. As he ran, he thought the opposite. Just when he needed the blood aura, they surged right to his throat. But the master had to set up a good stone for Nghiem Hao. Otherwise, with this electric field, I can't fight confidently. He quickly found a small cave, then covered it with stones, telling Nghiem Hao to hide here. She could hold out for a while, he would go handle the rest. Before leaving, she shouted, Hey Nghiem Hao, if you don't come back, I'll hunt you down even in hell. He confidently replied, Don't worry, I'll definitely return. In no time, Nghiem Hao absorbed enough blood aura. Now it's time for a no-holds-barred fight. He decided to use the energy cannon he got from the previous boss. One strike would drain his strength completely. Failure was not an option. He focused his power into the red energy orb in his hand and threw it. The explosion shook the ground violently, even punching a hole through the boss's nest. The attack succeeded, but the red aura remained, and the guys were still fine, which confused him. This is bad. 3 minutes earlier at Nghiem Hao's spot, she was repairing the blood aura measuring device. Finally done, it alerted that the red aura concentration was dangerously high, twice the warning level. Naturally, the shock scared her. Looking up at the huge hole, she wondered if the explosion outside had made the red aura even denser. She hid inside the cave, observing and assessing. Thanks to absorbing high-concentration red aura, these guys evolved rapidly. Even the lowest-level scouts evolved into Lirmquian rank. Meanwhile, he noticed the difference in battle. The more they fought, the more and stronger enemies appeared. Despite the red aura around, his replenishment rate wasn't dropping. If this keeps up, we're cooked. Nghiem Hao noticed too. She saw Nghiem Hao showing symptoms of red aura corruption. The concentration kept rising. That orb would lose control. She immediately used her wind bullets to blow away the red aura wrapping him. The wind orb she threw spun fiercely, driving all the red aura off him. Nghiem Hao was tough, but damn bro, how am I supposed to heal now? The guys attacked him with venomous strikes. Though he blocked with his hands, the paralysis effect was nasty. Meanwhile, others snuck attacks from behind. He couldn't dodge anymore. Suddenly, someone charged in. Taking the hit for him, it was Fo Quan Lam Lam Durng Tree. Rank C. Power System. Basic Ability. Body Enhancement. Derivative Skills. Stone Bow Transformation. Super Senses. Beast Core Source. Paralysis Boss. He told everyone the fight wasn't over yet, stay focused. The guys surrounded them again, but just then, purple bullets took them down. The one who arrived was Tong Nier. Rank C. After receiving orders from HQ, she immediately came to reinforce. She ordered a full assault, and the team quickly joined the fight. The squads were assigned to burn them with fire, while Nghiem Hao and the vice-captain stepped back to rest. At that moment, the boss charged straight at them, but Captain Tong stopped it with shredding bullets. Its whole body was paralyzed, unable to move. It tried to fly away, but he thought, even broken, it's still strong. The vice-captain explained last time she didn't bring combat gear. While everyone was distracted, he slipped aside to absorb red aura and heal. Suddenly, everyone realized something and shouted, Watch out! The boss is absorbing all the red aura here to level up. Someone yelled, No way, didn't it just become the Overlord? More and more guys surrounded them. In this emergency, he shouted, I've got a way to use the boss, and dashed off. He moved like lightning, dodging attacks and constantly irritating it. Nghiem Hao realized fighting barehanded wasn't enough. He launched a violent blood orb but got pricked by its spikes, almost losing it. Then he thought he needed a weapon. Seeing the boss's spikes around him, he transformed them into his sword, and charged. Using all his strength, he unleashed a crimson blood/boom. The boss was finally taken down. Its core crystal flew out, and he caught it. But absorbing it immediately sent a shock through him. Everyone panicked, wondering what happened, but he was just buffing up. Part 1 ends here. Don't forget to drop a like for your girl. A. E.